All right, here we go. Uh, Still waiting on Scotto. Don't know where Scotto's at. Don't know where Scotto's at. Looking for Scotto. Scotto, if you see the live, I sent you a link through the email. No one's here yet. So did it with zero? That's fine. Um, I did a podcast earlier or a live broadcast. I did it earlier with a few people on. I had P. Barnes. I had uh, Chris Jackson, which I have no idea if that's his real name, but he's a funny dude. We had Logan Sandman and we had Peck. We had all had them all on earlier. That was on. I wanted to talk about the New York auditors, and right now I want to talk about KFAR for a little bit. KFAR was hitting his 10,000 subscribers uh, today. I don't know when he hit it, but he's doing his party today. And I'm just throwing out a shout out to KFAR about one of the kindest guys on YouTube. Not only because he knows and has an understanding about everybody going live and stuff like that, and he doesn't want to cross streams, which you never want to do. Uh, he, uh, he went ahead and bowed out and decided to reschedule his live, which is pretty cool for somebody like who's got a pretty big channel, who could go on whenever he wants and stuff like that. That was a pretty decent thing to do. So I thought I'd give him a shout out. I decided to talk about him a little bit. I mean, we were really negative on the last live that we were on. We were talking about a bunch of the New York auditors and stuff like that. But this one, I just want to say, shout out to KFAR and his 10,000 subscribers. That situation is it couldn't happen to anybody more deserving. And he's not buying his subscribers. He hasn't done any kind of crazy things. He's just done is what he has to do. He got a shout out from the legendary SC a long time ago. Rest in peace, SC. Um, I remember seeing that first video that SC showed of his, which was really cool. I thought that was really cool, a really cool thing to do for SC to do for KFAR, which is something that he's passing along. Thanks to SC, thanks to that situation. He's passed on his that generosity, that moment of wanting to continue that, giving to the people who are smaller and stuff like that. And KFAR does that, and he does that very well. I can't say enough about the dude. So my congratulations to him on his 10,000 subscribers. Hopefully, he'll finally have me on his panel now that I have a better mic situation. I hope that I have a better mic situation. I can't tell. Nobody was complaining about it on the last live, so I'm hoping that this situation is better now. But if it isn't, then oh well. What am I gonna do? Uh, Still waiting on Scotto. Don't know where he's at. I know he wanted to do a live, and I wanted to do a live with him. But yeah, we were talking about the New York auditors and about how they're trying to take the championship away from the California auditors as far as being the worst auditors that we have seen. Of course, I've kind of taken a bit of a more strong stance against these guys. I think that I'm trying to get used to not even giving them distinction of calling them auditors. I don't want to call them auditors anymore. I want to call them nothing but frauditors because that's what they are. And I'm actually going to try to, and I did this a long time ago as a class project where we try to put a word into the Webster's dictionary. So if I can do that, I'm going to try to do that. If I can, if I can't, well, oh well. But I'm going to try to do that. I'm going to try to get into the Webster's dictionary, the word frauditor. If I remember how to do that correctly, it's been a while. I think I did that way back in 2003. I don't know if the process is any different, but I'm going to try to see if I can do the same thing again. And I think we should do that. I think we should try to make frauditor an actual word because um, an auditor they're not. They've got no credit to be auditors. I don't know how people feel about that, but I think that just because you decide to do something that nobody asked you to do and you want to label it an audit, I don't think you can do that. I don't think you can label it an audit. Um, you can call it you know regressing your government. I guess you could say that, but even then, do they do that? Are they regressing anything? I mean, all they're doing is just sitting there videotaping people for the fact that they're trying to get a some sort of confrontation. I mean, a good example of it would be good guy audits. I recently saw a video by Professor Craig. Shout out to my boy Professor Craig. He made a video of good guy audits going into a mayor's office where all he did was talk to a mayor. He talked to a mayor, and he didn't he didn't necessarily do anything but talk to him. Was he regressing him? Was he telling him? Was he giving him some sort of was he making him like answer for something or anything like that? No, he actually had no real complaint for him. He just went in there to kind of bother him. But of course, the mayor being the mayor, a public official, an elected official, is going to be nice to him. He's not gonna give him the third degree on it. And here comes Scotto. Hey, what's up, Scotto? How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, buddy. How about you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm right here. Nobody had joined on, so I decided to just start talking about stuff that was going on my last live, and how I kind of have this idea that I don't want to give frauditors the distinction of calling them auditors anymore. Like I don't want to. Like I'm trying to get used to just calling them frauditors, and I did a class project like a long time ago, like in 2003, where we try to put a word into the Webster's dictionary. Now I do got some of those resources, so I'm gonna see if they're the same, and I'm gonna try to submit frauditors as a new word if I can.
I like that. And I have to say, I'm all for getting away from the word auditor because part of what I do as part of my job is auditing. So I tend to
Oh,
take it a little personally, and some of these people, what they do is call an audit. I'm like, yeah, that's not even what you're doing. That's not remotely it.
right. I absolutely. And the thing is that they're doing something that none of us asked them to do. Nobody gave them nobody told them, hey, we need you to do this for us. So they're actually doing it for themselves, right? And then the other thing is that they call it regressing the government, as far as like, oh, I'm going to go and regress my government for something that happened or something that they did, but they never do it in their hometown. It's always in other places, in other municipalities that have nothing to do with them. Yeah, exactly,
Exactly. And like
exactly, Danny.
redressing your government is say, hey, get in contact with your local senator or congressperson because maybe there's a law you don't like and you want it changed. And that's how you do it, you know?
Right, right. They never do that. They always have to go to, oh, I'm gonna go talk to this secretary. I'm gonna go talk to these police officers that are on duty, putting their cameras into their vehicles and stuff like that. Where all of that stuff, all it is inciting a conflict. They are inciting things, and they are not regressing anything. And so, calling them auditors is giving them just a little bit more credit than any of us would like to give them. So I'm really gonna be more conscious and when I'm talking about them and just using frauditors. I'm not even calling that the A1 community no more. I'm calling it the F1 community because from now
I
on,
like that.
the distinction will be frauditors, no longer auditors. Because just based on this last week on these things, and I know you heard some of the live that we had earlier. And we were talking about the New York auditors, and you heard about what we were talking about. How do you feel about what's been happening with the New York auditors, starting with the Sucker Punch auditor?
That guy, I mean, that's horrible. There's no other way to describe it. That guy is just the lowest of the low. You know,
Do
I
you do
mean,
you,
this
do you,
is
do you
kind of
agree with
horrible.
do you agree with Hez's assertion that was the he punched her as in a sucker punch type of way where it was like she wasn't looking at him?
Yeah, it was a total sucker punch. And so what? I mean, hey, I had a fight with my sister once and she slapped me once, but did I punch her? Hell no. You know?
Hey, little Chihuahua, welcome back, Danny. Thank you for showing up again. Here I am with Scotto. Scotto, one of the subs, one of the best subs. He's been a very big supporter of all of us, from the lowest of the low, me, to the highest of the high. People like Kfar was having his 10,000 subscriber celebration later on today. I hope everybody shows up to go celebrate with him. Um, yeah, real quickly, how do you feel about Kfar and what he's done with the community? Because I also wanted to make this live about him a little bit, because I do appreciate Kfar as a content creator, as a friend. he has been one of those people that even though he could completely blow me off and not ever talk to me, he has showed up to my lives. You remember he was here last time. He's just one of the good guys in the community. How do you feel about K4?
I mean, I agree. Him showing up, what was it, like a week or 2 weeks ago? That was a total surprise. That was really cool. And I like him because I part of what draws me in is so there are so many. I'm going to say fodder to trolls, right? There's so many of these channels, and we could all cover, or they could all cover, because I'm not a creator. So they could all cover, say, like Brooklyn Audit stealing the orange, and the topic itself might sound redundant, but every single creator has their own individual spin and their own kind of, I like to say, unique humor that they bring to it. And that's part of the one of the things I like about KFAR. He comes across being sarcastic sometimes, and I dig that because I'm the same way. But I think he's
Yeah, he
awesome.
is. I think he's awesome too. That's why I wanted to talk about him as a content creator, as a friend. Like I said, a lot of the people, and I'm not gonna and I'm not saying that they're all, the other content creators ain't great. I mean, there are great, good people in the content creators. I could say out of just personally, Miss Mandy, um, Artist Corporate Fiction, um, AMG, all genuine, lovely people, lovely, lovely people. But I would say K4 is one of the most involved people. But I think that has a lot to do with his interactions with SC and how SC treated him. Because I think if SC, doesn't give him the nod like he did, I think K4 maybe a little bit more detached from everybody. But I think he gives back to the community because I think SC gave back to him, and that's what I think is his main reason why he's so open to the rest of us. And I love that. I absolutely love that about him. And so that's why he's my friend. I call him my friend. I've never met him, and I'll tell everybody right now, I've never met K4 in person, but I'm telling you right now, he's a friend of mine because of the way he's been with me. Behind the scenes, he's supportive. He gives you tips. He doesn't ever mince words. And if he can show up to your live, he will show up to your live. And he hasn't let me down yet. That's why I give him a lot of praise. And if I don't make it to his panel, that's why I wanted to have this live. If I don't make it to his panel today, to let him know how much I appreciate him, I'm letting him know right here so he can hear it. He can know, and I guarantee you, he's going to hear it because even though, and you may think that out of everybody that why would K4 want to come to a live or even listen to a live that was already recorded? He listens to every single live that I do, and he's given me comments about them. He's left comments. He's left likes. He is an absolute good person all the way through. So all the praise to Mr. K4. I wanted to give him that, and also, anybody who goes up against K4 is going up against me because that dude I have his back no matter what. That's my friend, and anybody who wants to talk crap about him, I'm gonna be the first one in line to talk crap right back to that person.
Well, hey, you know what? If you don't make it this afternoon, I'll give him a lap dance in your name. How's that?
Oh, there you go. That's what I'm talking about. Right, Danny. Right, I do remember that as well too. It's crazy because there's a few channels that I know that I saw when they were barely coming up, but I didn't know. Like, okay, before when I used to consume YouTube content, I never gave a mind to the subscribe button. I actually rarely even ever hit the like button. You know what I mean? I was just video, video, video. Content, whatever it was, video, video, video. Never giving a second thought to the content creator or who I was listening to or what I was listening to. I just wanted to consume something that would entertain me for the small moment that I need to see the video. But when I entered the realm of seeing frauditor videos, I started paying more attention because I knew something was wrong about them. See, I didn't run into frauditors. I didn't run into frauditors by the anti frauditor community. I ran into them through their channels, and I paid attention more because I was like, this doesn't make sense to me. The stuff that they're doing doesn't make sense to me. So I had to I had to figure out what was going on there because it didn't make sense. And then that's what made me be more active in looking at who the content creators were. And so when I started seeing the anti-frauditor community, it never made I always thought it was one person. Then I started figuring out, oh no, this is another channel. This is another channel, right? Because of the way the videos were cut and the way people would do their commentary. But it's something of a crazy thing to come up to now and see how it's built. And the frauditor community likes to throw disparaging remarks to the anti-frauditor community by saying things like, "Oh, our numbers are bigger," or "We have more," or whatever. The channels for the people that are the anti-frauditor community, I've seen grow, and not just grow, but grow with real people, with real support, not this like this inflated number, subscribe numbers, but the views and likes don't match. You look at guys like Father the Troll, who have, I think he's already at the 10,000, right? He's already at the 10,000 subs, um, and he's looking at getting 900 people on his lives on an average. Guys like Kfar, who's hitting his 10,000 and is getting like 400, 500 views on his lives, on his videos. No doubt he's getting 2,000, 3,000 views easily. It's crazy that these guys think they got all this sewed up, but yet they can barely get 100 views, on a live channel. They've got millions of subscribers, but they can barely get 1,000 views on a YouTube video. Guys like Aselmo, who gets 1.2 million views on TikTok and is trying to completely switch his whole thing. I don't know if you guys saw his last video. He never mentioned his YouTube channel. I thought that was so sus. He didn't mention his YouTube channel at all. He only mentioned his TikTok. What did he mention? His TikTok, his Facebook, I think. But he didn't mention his YouTube channel at all because why? He knows that it's racial all to hell.
Well, and
Hey, how's it
also
going,
for like in
Pokey?
the case of Elmo, it's a formula that is so predictable. Like right now, he just happens to be hanging around tax offices, and he just goes to a different one in every county. But it's literally the same thing in just a different place every time.
Yeah, yeah, and guys like Asalmo, he's so washed up in the way he does things. Like he's one of those guys that has stuck to the script so much that he hasn't changed the way he says things or anything like that. And all it is that eventually he's gonna get, not only is he gonna die out because his stuff is getting boring, but his people are starting to get upset. I think because he doesn't switch up and he doesn't want to do anything crazy. He doesn't want to get himself into trouble. Which that's where I think this is gonna go. The ones that are gonna push the boundaries and want to get into trouble are gonna get more support than the ones that are gonna be more like trying to be safe and everything. Um, I'm glad people like Rogue Nation are getting charges put on them and stuff like that because though like people like him are guys that just want to push this movement. There is no movement actually, and again, I'm gonna try to refrain from using words that give them any kind of credibility because it's not a movement. These guys are prank channels. These guys are just guys that waste time. They go in, they try to make problems for people, but they don't have anything. There's nothing activist about the things that they're doing. It's all just it's all just crap on video that they're trying to put out there, and they can't say otherwise because they haven't done anything other than that. I mean, you look at Long Island Audits and his dumb little protest that happened like about a week ago. What did he do? But go and bathe himself in his followers, right?
Yeah,
50
that was a
guys that
blow fest, is what that was.
yeah, 50 guys that love him, that kiss up to him and stuff like that, and no kind of protest, no kind of like what did he do? What did he do but go bother a police station for an hour, right? He didn't do anything. He didn't make any change or nothing. And that's the level of scrutiny that their followers will not put them up to. It's like, what did you change? What exactly did you change? Nothing. You didn't change nothing. You went to go bother a police station. You went to go bother some clerk at an office, and you didn't change anything. All you did was make them feel uncomfortable for like an hour or two, and it doesn't do anything but get the people in your audience happy, and it's a small amount of people, and those people just have chips on their shoulder, and that's what I'm starting to notice. Um, and I forgot to give this link to Professor Craig because there's another channel out there, and I'll show you when I can. Uh, there's this guy. He's so upset. He's so upset because he got arrested. He got arrested because he was trespassed from a bar, right? He's leaving the bar and he's inside of his car. And so the police officer comes to him while he's inside his car and he tells him, "You need to get out of the car because I'm going to give you a trespass." Now, the guy says, "I'm not going to get out of the car." The cop says, "You need to get out of the car because I'm telling you to get out of the car. I'm going to serve you with a trespass so you don't come back here." The guy says, "I'm not going to get out of the car," and he tells the cop that he's not going to get out of the car. The cop says, "Give me your ID so I could so you know like I'm gonna identify you." He says no. The cop pulls him out of the car. He puts him in handcuffs, and the guy breaks his shoulder, or something like that, because of the struggle, because he's resisting arrest. Now this guy says that the officer was in the wrong, and that he's gonna be filming cops from now on. So we're looking at the start of a frauditor, right? He's saying that, oh, that the cop was in the wrong because of that situation. And I've been on his chat, and I've been on this long-winded, huge, string of chats, because I keep telling him, you have to follow the lawful order of the officer, regardless of whether you think he's right or wrong. I understand that you may think he's wrong, but being in your car and on the side of the road is not where you want to fight this. You want to fight this in court if you feel that he's wrong. He keeps telling me the same thing. Well, resisting arrest is a secondary charge, or why was I arrested, and this and that and this and that and this and that. And I keep telling him, you can be arrested and be innocent. That's not how that works. If you're under arrest, if a cop says you're under arrest, you're under arrest. If a cop says you're being detained, you're detained. You don't get to make the choice whether you're not detained or you're not under arrest. Now, I understand that there are protocols and there are policies and things like that that need to be followed. But at the side of the road, inside of your car, when the cop is addressing you, is not where you fight that. And he just doesn't want to listen to that. And then I keep getting all of these people who have chips on their shoulder about these kinds of things, and all they want to throw at me is, you're wrong. You shouldn't have to listen to a cop, and the cop has no right to do this and do that. I'm like, listen, guys, I understand. I completely understand where you guys are coming from. But you got to understand, too, the cop has his authority. He has to be able to tell you what to do in his authority capacity. If he can't tell you what to do, then why does he have authority? Why do we give anybody authority if he can't tell you what to do? He's got to be able to do that. So understand that this is not me saying that the cop is right. This is me saying that you have to listen to the cop. And then when you feel that something is wrong that he has done, then you regress it at the time that it's appropriate to do so. Not on the side of the road, not when you just went through the incident that people are trying to get you through. Listen to the cop, listen to what you have to go through, and then fight it later on. You can't fight it right there. And that's the issue that most people don't understand. They think that officers are doing things because they want to do them, because they're tyrants or whatever, because, oh, they're commanding me to do these things. It's like, no, that's not how it works. They're not commanding you to do anything. If anything, they don't want to be telling people what to do like that. Being in a position of power in that situation is not easy for anybody, because when you're an adult, you don't want to tell another adult something like he's a child, You're hoping that they act like an adult and treat things like they're supposed to be done. They do things like you're supposed to be doing, not have to talk to you like you're some sort of kid or something. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Oh, of course not. But I don't forget them, Pokey. I never forget them. They're around, and they're doing things like all those guys are horrible. DMA is one of the worst ones. He's one of the most entitled people that I've ever heard, and the more he gets popularity, the more he becomes a god in his own eyes. I don't know what's going on in that guy's head, but I remember when he used to be a low level conspiracy nut. Now he's like this, like he believes he's like this godlike thing, and I'm not even trying to put hyperbole to it. He really seems like he believes himself to be, some sort of deity. If you look at him now, he used to be a little bit, like a little bit more humble in a sense, and I don't really want to say that because that gives him more credit than I want to. But yeah, he's really gotten into his head huge from what it used to be.
And I've often wondered, same like
Oh,
okay, it's like LIA and even DMA. Do any of these guys even believe the stuff that comes out of their own mouth?
yeah, they do. They do because they think that they're special like that. And Pokey, to talk about NY Public Tour, that's another person that's delusional and based on just on the fact that there is a whole village against him, I believe that he's actually taking photos of people's kids. Like I think that he's actually doing that, and he's actually doing it in an egregious way. But he's not going to tell us, or he's not going to bring it to the YouTube to the YouTube sphere because he knows what it looks like. You know what I mean? Like it's like he keeps saying, "Oh, show me where I've taken a picture of a kid. Show me where I put it on my channel." Of course, you're not going to put it on your channel, man. That's against the law. You're not going to do that. You're doing it, and these people know because they're against you. When has a whole city of anybody gone against somebody? You know what I mean? Like even the frauditors out there that have done some bad stuff, like they don't have a whole group of people coming after them like this guy. This guy has a whole village. Like there's a whole city of people that are tired of his shit, and they're buying merchandise that says go leave and leave the town, and they're having block parties against them and everything. You talk about somebody that doesn't know how to read the room, right? this guy does not know. This guy could walk into like a room full of people with knives and it says backstabbing party, and he thinks that he's invited. You know what I'm saying? Like he's I don't know if it's because he's got some sort of like psychological issues, or he's just that delusional that he believes that he's in the right, that he will not leave. But it's getting to the point where it's getting dangerous for him and his family, and his wife is not doing him any favors either. You know, uh, starting. I mean, I know that she got attacked or whatever. I don't know if it was her fault or whatever. I from what I saw from the videos that I saw, she looked like she was in the middle of starting a fight. Okay, that she got into a fight. She got into a fight with a woman. It's not like the stuff that happened with the other auditor that hit the woman. This was a woman on a woman, and she got rocked. She got rocked for getting into somebody's face.
Yeah, that guy, and even his wife, that's just a mess. And on top of that, it's so he knows this whole town hates him, but what does he do? Almost every single day, every single night, maybe multiple times a day, he goes live and decides to go out on the town.
He instigates them. Yeah, he instigates them completely. He does it every single time. It's like, why do you continue to instigate them? Like, if you know that the situation is people don't like you out there, why would you continue to instigate them? Or because it's my right, and because they don't own the street. Um, okay, I guess you made that point. I don't know why you would continue to make things dangerous for you and your family. Like it doesn't make any sense. You don't own the street either. That's another thing too. That's another thing too that really upsets me about these guys is that they say things like, "Oh, in the public, I could do whatever I want. If I'm in the public, I could do whatever I want." It's like yes and no because there are human decency laws. You know what I mean? People can't walk around naked. I mean, you could be in the public and you can't be naked. If you are, there's a law against that. It's called indecent exposure. So no, you can't do anything you want when you're in the public sidewalk. You're limited. You're limited up to the rights of other people, and that's what they don't understand. The Constitution, the laws that we have that we call freedom, are freedom from the government, not freedom from our social responsibility. Is what these guys don't understand. We got freedom from the government. That means that the government can come and tell you, "Hey, what are you talking about?" And if you say, I'm talking about Joe Biden because I don't like his policies," and they say, "Shut up, or we're going to kill you." That's what we're free from. We're not free from talking crap to the person across the street and them not coming over and punching us in the face. Now, is it okay for them to punch us in the face? No, but we still have to be responsible with the way we talk because we don't want people to punch us in the face. And it's what they don't understand. They're taking the small little bit of freedom that we got and using it irresponsibly, then hiding behind it like cowards because they're all cowards. I can't say that enough how cowardly these guys are. They're all either former criminals, former guys with felonies and all kinds of things on their records, and they're all cowards because they won't do anything that will have them to do any work that's other than just holding up a camera.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of them conflate freedom of speech with freedom from consequences of said speech, and the two are completely different things, right?
Right. Yeah, they don't want, they want all the freedom to say whatever they want, but they want none of the consequences, and they believe that their freedom of speech is like they extend it to other people like they extend it to cops. Cops have to be more professional in the way that they hear things because obviously they deal with a lot of people. They have to be very careful to not take a lot of things personally. That's why cops are told not to respond to people using fighting words. But you can't tell another person who's not a cop not to respond to fighting words because you're not. I'm not. I don't work in as a police officer, so I don't have that professional capacity put on me. So if you use fighting words against me, I have every right to come at you. If you're using fighting words against me, if you're instigating me.
But at the same time, and the thing that gets me is this whole, oh God, especially LIA when he starts this thing where, oh, hey, make sure they'll treat us with respect. And then they go in and treat people just like absolute dirt, quite frankly. And, oh, just because someone happens to work for the city or the county, they're supposed to be treated like dirt. No, they're not. They're people just like you and I.
Yeah, that's where that's where they conflate a lot of things. Where they say things like public servant. You got to help me. Anytime they've gone to an office, they've never been denied service. They just have been asked to do something that the other people would like them to not do anymore. You're asked, hey, stop recording, please. That's not them telling you not to record. They're asking you not to record. Now, if you decide not to and you make it uncomfortable for them, how do you expect them to give you proper service if if you're gonna be making them feel uncomfortable? It's not gonna work. And then they start saying things like, oh, look at this person. They don't want me to record them because they're hiding something, because they're hiding something. Well, look, there's other ways of regressing the government where you can see whether they're hiding something or not hiding something. They seem to think that we as a whole don't know how to make a complaint or how to regress the government, and we feel things are not going correctly. But they've proven time and time again that people do know how to do that. And DMA was one of the big factors in that because he went to that city hall. He went to the meeting, right? He went to that meeting thinking that he was going to be a hero amongst people, but everybody there was not listening to none of the crap he was putting up because they understand that those are things that are not real issues in their community. So people who actually know how to regress the government don't need their help, and we never asked for that help. So they need to stop with all that BS about, oh, I'm here to do something for the people, because number one, if it was something that you were doing for the people exactly, it doesn't your little short video that you put up on YouTube for say 20 minutes, at most maybe 30 minutes, that little video doesn't do anything for anybody. Secondly, your little call flooding thing that you do with all your subscribers, where you harass people over the phone, that doesn't help anybody either. All you're doing is making it harder for other people to communicate with their local municipalities. That's all you're doing. You're making it harder for everybody to contact them because of your stupid call flooding. That childish call flooding is what I like to call it, because it's childish. And then the third thing that you're doing is that you're putting undue stress on people who are probably stressed up to the bone as it is. You don't know what those people are going through as far as their job, as far as their responsibilities. You're just putting more pressure on them because you decided to go in there and you decided to get butthurt because somebody told you to put your camera away. And really, the more they get popular, the more butthurt they get, if you ever notice that. The more big that they think they are, the more important that they think they are, when they tell them to put the camera away, that's how they feel. They get even more butthurt. And they do that thing where it's like, oh, well, now I'm going to mess with you because you told me to put the camera away. It's like, leave those people alone. Oh, what do they have? What are they doing? All they want is for you to leave them alone. And they would not take any of the stuff that they do to themselves. If people put a camera on them, oh, cam back, all that stuff. It's like it's there's such hypocrites and there's such cowards. I hate them so much. I really do.
Right. Tell us how you really feel, Jerry. Don't hold back. But I'm gonna go back to an earlier point you made earlier when there's like anti-nudity laws and stuff, and I'm about 3 hours north of you, and I hate to burst your bubble, but man, there are naked people running around the city all the time.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, no, I get it. Well, and it's the thing. It's like every city has its own thing going on. Everybody, and that's another thing too, is that they take that same script and they take it to all kinds of cities, all kinds of municipalities, and they want to find out why they don't get treated the same way in other places. It's like, because you're not from there, buddy. You don't know how things work there, and you're not helping anybody out for being there for 15 minutes and harassing all the employees in there. You're all you're doing is like causing some havoc and getting it on tape, and so your little subscribers that are right there that are like, yeah, the government sucks and anarchy and you know what I mean? Those guys, those guys can be happy for like 2 seconds because that's all it is. You're appeasing a group of people that just want anarchy. They just want to see people get upset and get hurt. And it's really sick. It's really sick when I see people like that guy from New York who punched that lady um, get support, because somebody like that should not get support. He should his he should his life that day should have gone from whatever number he had to zero, because I don't understand how anybody can support somebody who sucker punches a woman after not only instigating the situation, but just absolutely berating her. And I could like and I said it in the other live. You can hear from her distress that that lady had issues that were beyond what was going on at that point. She has been an EMT, and she has had stress, and this is what I talk about all the time. We tend to when we get pulled over by a cop, when we get in a situation where we go to a hospital and people don't treat us exactly how we think we should be treated, and we like to take it real personal because that situation is with us. But we never stop and think that this nurse, this EMT worker, this cop has been dealing with thousands upon thousands of people every day. Not only do they interact with them, but they treat them a certain way, and then they're being treated rudely. They're being treated, in ways that they have to internalize it. They have to internalize all of these things that people put on them, just for you to come along and think that it's personal to you. It's like, we can't you think beyond yourself for a second? Can't you like give a person the benefit of the doubt just for a second? Some things are more than you. And that's the part that really gets me upset about these guys, is that they want to twist everything and make it about themselves. And it's like, you never even stop to think that this person might be going through some of the hardest things that they ever have in their life. And you're right here pushing it. You're just pushing it and pushing it. And they just, ooh, that gets me so much.
Well, not even really the hardest things. It's day after day after day. Nobody's calling 911 and saying, "Oh my God, you guys are so awesome. Can you come over and pick up some cookies?" No, there's always some, I'm going to call it a societal issue that either police or EMTs have to deal with, and it's what they do all day in their job every single day. And that, I mean, I personally can do that because it would just psychologically wear me down. So props to them
Right.
for having to do it.
Yeah. Hi, Lisa. By the way, I see you there. Eh, um, I used to be a security guard. I used to do security for a hotel, and that's where I kind of like I got the respect for people who work where they have to deal with people. It's like, as as much as I had good days where people were nice and people understood things, and I could tell them, hey, you know what, today's the pool's off limits because of this reason or whatever, and people were cool. Um, I would say, like every other day, I would have one where somebody was just acting like a child, where they just didn't want to listen. They just wanted to pick and pick and pick, and I got all of the names called, right. Rent a cop, wannabe cop, you don't got no power, all kinds of stuff. I was told, And I would always tell them, look, I'm not here to ruin your day. I'm not here to ruin anybody's day. But there's things that you have to follow because the hotel's telling me to. And the concierge service is not going to tell you. The front desk people are not going to tell you. I'm the one who's supposed to tell you. And I'm always going to be Mr. Negative. But that's my job. And so I have to come and tell you guys this. And if you listen to me the first time, I may be able to work things out for you. You know, if you allow me to do what I have to do. But when you're constantly like going up against what I say and you make it difficult for me to do my job, then I got no choice. You're leaving me with no choice but to have you removed because that's all I can do. They say you got no power and stuff like that, but I can't have you removed, and that's the limit to my power. But do you really want that? You know? And they never stop and pay attention. All they do is like, well, you won't be in your rights, and I'll sue the company and this and that. And it's like, okay, whatever, like you're not listening because this is not what I want. I'm not here to ruin anybody's day. And it just it would get to me like after so many people, especially like after there would be like weeks when like say I would have like spring breakers, like talking about kids that just turned adults, like 18, 19-year olds who thought they knew everything, right? And that's the toughest thing when you're dealing with people who think they know everything, right? And it's like you're trying to tell them, like, no, no, you can't do this, you can't do that, and it's just, oh my gosh, I can't believe it.
Yeah, and on the note of the whole, I guess, like people talking down to someone else about their job. I mean, we all have a job, or it's like my mother-in-law likes to say, we all have a role in life, and all of our roles are different. No one person's role is better or worse than the other, and I just totally don't get this whole talking down to other people about their job. Because it's, I mean, you're doing your job, and I have my job, and that's just it, right?
I know what you mean. Yeah, this is the second one. People aren't. I started up a second one because the first one I had to go take care of something, and really I wanted to take care of that before I went live, so I had it scheduled for 12. But since you asked me to come on, I came on with you. But then I had something to do, so I had to go take care of that, and then I stopped the other live, which I really didn't want to because we were having a good time. But I really had to stop it because I had to go take care of something. Then when I came back, I was like, let me come back and might as well, since we start a second one, start a second subject one, and hopefully he's on now because I told Kfar we were going to talk about him for a little bit because, like I said, I needed to give praise to my guy Kfar. He's one of my favorite guys, and he's doing his 10,000 sub party today. So if you guys are not here, be over there, and it's going to start 5 p.m. Pacific time, and it should be 8 p.m. East Coast time. So hopefully I'll see you guys over there because, like I said, if anybody deserves a celebration, anybody deserves real praise, not none of these frauditors type of praise. I'm talking about real praise from somebody who's a real good dude. It's Kfar. He deserves it.
And you know what I'm gonna say? So I like to think that Kfar is semi-omnipotent. Like this, he shows up in so many little surprise streams and popping up in comments here and there. You've said his name enough times, it's like Candyman. He's bound to appear.
Right. That's true. That is so true. I know. Kfar will, yeah, he is like Kenny. When you say his name long enough, and boom, there he is. He's in your stream. But yeah, absolutely. That's why I love the guy. He gives everybody a chance, and the thing about it is that he believes even like the smallest channel like mine or anybody else is better than his. That's the thing that I don't know if I believe him when he says that. I don't know if it's a thing where he's trying to make somebody feel good, but he thinks that nobody wants to see him. And 10,000 subscribers can't be wrong, but he has this humbling thing where he's like, I don't deserve it. Like I don't deserve people. Like, why do people want to see me? Why do people want to hear me talk about something, right? And I'm serious. This is the conversation that I've had with him. And I have to tell him, dude, I love listening to your takes. Not only because you have funny takes and I like your opinions on it, but also because unlike a lot of people, you actually have a good monotone voice that I can listen to. like
And I totally
like I.
made that joke that I said, "Hey, dude, you should do books on tape." And he's like, "Oh yeah, man, I have another channel for that." Yeah, you just batted it right off the head, bro. Like, oh,
You really should. I do like his voice is soothing, and it's hard for a man to talk about another man's voice and say that his voice is soothing. So let me tell you, his voice is soothing.
well, yeah, you don't seem to be having any difficulty talking about it right now, buddy.
He's not here, so I'm not nervous. Okay. No, but oh, and of course, the new guy in town. We got Professor Craig, who I like to talk about for a little bit too. He's been a partner of mine now, and he's really taken me under his wing. Even though it should be the other way around because I've been I've been out here a lot longer than him, but he he's really cool. He's a really nice and humble guy. I hope everybody subscribe to Professor Craig. If you haven't, please go subscribe to him. He's a really really nice guy, really fun guy. But I'm gonna be doing stuff with him. So if you guys are looking for me and you don't see me on this channel, I'll be on his channel, and that's Professor Craig's the ideologicopathic truth, Professor Craig. If you're looking for him specifically.
Actually, you might want to check. I think he changed it to Professor Crack because I have the same thing. I think it's idiopathic truth, but I cannot spell the word idiopathic. So I think he changed it to Professor Crack so we can find it easier.
Oh well, okay then, Professor Crack. If you're looking for him, then that's good. I'm glad you changed that because I remember telling them at the beginning. I'm like, oh, you might want to change that. It's a little too convoluted. I don't want to say convoluted, just a little too complicated for people.
Oh man, Doc Danger's here. Only the best Jaramata impression ever. I keep saying this to you, man, but I tell you now, I've watched that stream like 4 times already. I just find it's awesome.
What's up, Doc? Hey, nice to see you again, buddy. I actually had conspiracy music. I don't know if you guys have made up. I don't want to bring up any bad feelings, but he was here on the last stream, so it's kind of cool to have you on the second one. Um, so yeah, man, yeah. So this is free flowing. Anybody want to talk about anything? We were talking about the New York auditors earlier. We're talking about the sucker punch. We're talking about the orange thief. We're talking about New York Public Tours and his pathetic life. um, New York Public Tours. That dude, he has issues, and I don't understand this thing. This is something that I just simply do not understand. I don't get, right, because you got guys uh damn it, Rogue Nation, right? You got Rogue Nation, and you got guys like New York Public Tours who want to come onto Hez's live and other anti-frauditor communities lives, and they want to just like get in there and speak their side. And it's like, I don't understand what you guys want. You guys have your followers, you guys have your subscribers, whatever. Go talk to them. They're gonna pat you on the back for the things that you do. They're gonna give you that validation that you're looking for. Why are you trying to seek it on our side? Why is it that you want to come and disrupt us when we're having our conversations about these things? When you already got your people to be validated with. Is it because you really don't care for the people that are subscribed to your channel? Do you really not get satisfaction from the people who follow you because you know that the people that follow you don't aren't about the stuff that you're talking about. They just want you to actually, hurt yourself and do things that are going to be funny to them or whatever, because it doesn't make any sense to me why they try so hard to be involved with our side. You get what I mean?
Yeah, it's almost, or I kind of almost liken it to a rival football team. They're kind of like reducing the whole thing to the home game, and each side kind of, I don't want to say bullying the other, but that's just the word that immediately comes to mind.
I
But
understand. Yeah.
I do kind of wish that they would. I'm going to use Cyrax as an example because I'm just fine with him going and being a crazy little thing in his own bedroom. Don't take it out into the park where I have to see it.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. It's like, what are you doing, huh? Like, why do you got to come and disturb our peace? We're having our conversations here. We're talking about you. Yeah, we're talking about you. but it's not like you're not talking about us on your side or anything. And it's not like, and they always do that. They always do that thing. Oh, stop making videos about us, or get your own content or whatever. And it's like, you guys are upset that people like Predator Troll, fair use your videos. Predator Troll has never kept you guys from fair using his videos. Grab his videos, fair use them. Make fun of him, but you don't. The reason why is, number one, you're too lazy to do it, and number two, because you can't argue against the stuff that he's talking about. They never have an argument against the things that we have to say, because there is no argument. They don't have an argument. They don't want to argue. That's why they don't debate us. That's why they won't come on a channel and actually come on and state an argument that they actually have, because they don't have anything to argue about. What we say is true, and what we say is actual criticisms that people, not just us, but other people have. So for them to say, like, oh, make your own content and this and that or whatever, nobody's stopping you guys. Nobody's stopping you from getting a video that we make, and you guys fair using it and making criticism against us. But they won't. They won't do it. They won't do it. Why? Because they don't have an argument. But mostly, I think it's because they're lazy. That's why they rather just go somewhere, put a camera on someone's face, and be like, blah 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 blah. My First Amendment. You know what I mean? Because they're too lazy to actually get a video, cut it up, take out all the dead air, and edit it and put commentary to make it fair use.
Yeah, and it sometimes the argument could be just as simple as they get so upset because we laugh at their ridiculousness. Well, maybe if we stopped doing ridiculous things, we wouldn't have to call it out, right?
Yeah, yeah, and they are ridiculous. They are ridiculous with the things that they do.
And on a side note of Professor Crack, I just saw his latest one, and what was that guy's name? Good Guy Audits. Ugh, him,
Oh
and I
yeah.
think there's another one. Oh, the two or pre guy. They do this thing with their voice where they speak really low and then they mumble. It's like they just, even what they say, I could tell they have zero confidence in anything that they're saying.
Oh yeah. I really like, one of the things that I hate the most is like when some of those guys, when they're talking, they're like, blah, 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 and I'm like, you're mumbling, can't hear you. Like, open up your mouth, say something, because it's like, it's so frustrating. I get frustrated. I get frustrated when I can't understand people, and I get even more frustrated when they're actively not trying to open their mouths. I, I lose it. I don't really like that kind of stuff. And a good guy audits. He's so frustrated with his.
Uh, is that a law? Is that a law? Is that a law? Excuse me. Uh, I want to regress my government, because that's what we do. We got to regress our government. It's like, oh, like, do you
Well,
really talk like
if
that?
I had to go around in my grandmother's jacket, or, from the 1940s or whatever he was wearing for about a month or two, I might, be a little irritated too. But then again, I would have never left the damn house.
It's because I look good. I look good in my overcoat right here. It really matches my hips. It hugs my hips when I put it on.
Now, if we're going to be talking about hugging hips, then we have to talk about LIA and his spanks and, his little spanky pants.
with his girdle, with the girdle.
Oh,
You know what? That guy. You want to talk about somebody who's insecure? I think Li is probably one of the most insecure out of all of them. Um, the way he talks, I don't know why people say that, oh, he speaks calmly or so. He he talks like he's got something stuck up his nose. Honestly, like that's what I hear. And like, it just is, it bothers me, because I wanna like get one of those baby, like one of those baby, what do they call it, the booger things for the babies, the ones that you squeeze on one end. Like, I want to get one of those and just stick it up his nose and just take out all the boogers, because to me it sounds like his nose is stuffed up.
I agree. And sorry, Lisa, yes, spanks are fantastic, but LIA is just a horrible model for them. That's all. They don't work for everyone.
No, not everybody can wear Spanx. No, especially if you got no butt. If you got no butt and all hips, it's not gonna work.
Yeah, see, that's why I don't wear them, man.
Oh boy, but yeah, we've been talking about a lot of things right now. But yeah, the main topic has been the New York auditors. We're for a minute there talking about Jeremiah and that situation, and I was saying, you know, I feel like they need to take his daughter from him. Like his daughter, if they can do nothing, if they can do nothing for Jeremiah and his situation, he can e-beg all he wants. Like he could, I don't mind him e-begging week after week after week, but the one thing I would like is for his daughter to get out of that situation because it's one thing to be in to be an e-beggar piece of crap, frauder. You want to go out there and act like you know the laws and stuff like that. Fine, whatever, you know. But when you're bringing along your kid and you're doing things like putting a phone number out there so people can call her directly if you give so much money and you're doing all these these things to her so early on, it's to me it's not fair. It's not fair to the child to be doing those things to her, and it's horrible. It's horrible that he's been able to get away with this and still have her because I say that child needs a chance, and they need to take away his kid. They need to, like, I've never been for like people just having their kids taken away for like small things or say problems that could be solved within the family. But this situation is where it's egregious. He needs to have his kid taken away, and it's not for the sake of him or his family or whatever. It's just for the sake of her. They need to take that kid away for her. She needs to have a chance to live a better life, to have a better example of grown-ups, and then it needs to happen as soon as humanly possible. Like if there hasn't been a call to action to that, I think there should be because I can't say that kid only has so many years before this trauma really sinks in and it really like cuts in deep, and they need to get her out of it.
And you said it perfectly there when you said chance. Like she's in her formative years now, and she needs the chance to grow up and be able to become a productive member of society, for the easiest way to say it. And she's, I think she's 5 or 6 years old. I believe she's school age yet. But what's going to happen when she goes into kindergarten or first grade and she's dropping F bombs like it's nothing? She can't go into school like that. And it's robbing her of a chance to have a productive life. She's going to have a horrible life with the way they're setting her up.
Yeah, yeah. I'm so like I like like I've actually like and I've tried to look into what could be done as far as CPS with that situation, and somebody made the point that yes, CPS is overwhelmed. It is overwhelmed. There is a lot of situations that CPS is involved with. I just wish there was like an emergency type of button, something that you could push where you can get people out there as soon as humanly possible to get her out of that situation. Now, whether or not they have a situation better for her right away, I don't know. But I just think anything that's not that situation that she's in now is gonna do better for her. Um, it's just sad to me. Like I know I've seen it's because I guess like if I could preface everything that I'm saying, I've seen families worse than what Jeremiah is. I've been in neighborhoods where you got like every other household is broken families like that, where people are just you know unhappy and they don't care about their kids and stuff like that. I mean, I've told everybody about the story about my friend that got shot when we were going to school together, and his family was like completely broken. He would actually just walk me to school because he never really went to school. He would just go to the school, like to the front of the school, and then he would go.
Ooh, maybe he hit the back button now. Let's give him a few minutes, see if we can back. Oh, lovely, Doc. So now he's teaching her to punch and lash out when angry. Oh, lovely. So she's going to be hitting people too. Oh, great. Hey, little Chihuahua, big world, how are you? You know, it would be funny if Jay dropped and he didn't know he dropped and he's still ranting because my mother will do that. She'll hang up the phone and not be aware that she hung up the phone. Hey, Danny, I saw you last night on right at regular, I believe. He probably is, Lisa. You know, he brings me on here and says, "Hey, buddy, let's talk." And bless his heart, you know, I can't get into some words, but hey, he carries on a good conversation. He throws a lot at me. I don't mind. Hang on, y'all. I'm going to see where he is. We might have to start another one. We'll be right back.
Hey, I hope I didn't lose everybody. Is everybody still here? What happened to Scotto? Did he take off? Is everybody still here? Give me one in the chat if you're still here. How's everybody doing? I'm sorry about that. I don't know what happened. Okay, Danny, it's cool. Oh, I don't I have no idea. I don't know if I was gonna receive a call or something, but my 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 uh my stream my stream got interrupted, and I was like, you get that you when somebody calls, you get like a thing that looks like somebody's calling you. Well, I got that, but nothing was on it, and then my everything just started going wonky. Like, what's going on? But I didn't panic. I just turned off my phone and turned it back on, and everything was fine. But I have no idea what that was about. How's it
And
going, Scott? Are you okay?
inquiring minds want to know, did it take you a minute or two? You kept talking. Oh, wait, I've been disconnected. Did that happen?
I have no idea what happened. I think I was gonna receive a call, but it must have been delayed somehow. Like, like it was coming in, but it got delayed because I got the screen that says, like you're getting a call, but it was blank. There was nothing there. And then when I wanted to click away from it, like I was trying to like like take it away, everything just started going nuts. Like my phone thing started popping up, and then the screen, the internet screen started popping up. It was just like everything just started going weird. So I said, okay, don't panic. Turned it off. Turned it back on. Everything's working fine now.
You know, maybe it was K-Far because you said his name a couple of times. Or, ooh, yo, it could be Kick's fault. There we go.
Oh, that's right. It's Kick's fault. That's right. No, there you go. Kick did it.
There we go.
So you guys heard me talking, and then I just disappeared, or what?
Exactly. You just like vanished, and we were like, ooh, oh, okay.
That must have been cool for you guys. You guys must have thought like, oh shit, they're trying to silence him.
Exactly.
It's a conspiracy, guys. Kick did it.
Silence boys showed up at your house.
I wish they would. I really wish they would.
Oh, God. Right, me. You do that. I'm telling you right now, you better stream that.
Dude, man, if I ever get to the point where I don't have to actually work for a living, I will go after that guy. I've told
See,
this to many of the creators, like, let me be in a place where I don't need to worry about, like money, and I will be auditing them. I would be all over them. Like, I wouldn't mind. They would be scared to see me anywhere I went.
that, I think that's the reason why we, on this anti-fighter community, this is how we get back at them is here. because we have other things to do in our life. We don't, we're not off all day long, every day, every single day, and we can't just go follow them around because they apparently have nothing else to do. We have things we have to get done. So in our spare time, this is what we do here.
Little Chihuahua, I have not caught up on your latest videos. You know what? And I'll be absolutely honest with you, Little Chihuahua. I didn't know you guys were making videos of douche canoe and voodoo. I had no idea you guys were doing that until Hez told me, and I recently started watching some of your videos. I haven't caught up to them. I will. I will catch up to the new ones. But I'm sorry to say that I have just recently started watching your videos. So please don't hate me for that. Please don't unsubscribe because I don't mean to be a jerk like that. I just didn't know you guys were making videos. But they are funny and I love them. So, like I said, I'll catch up. I'll catch up, and when I do, I'll let you know.
I'll save some face for you, Jerry. I didn't even know Little Chihuahua Big World had a hack channel, so that's something for me to check out now. So I have a totally new one now. Thank you.
Yeah, they're making videos. That's and they make fun videos too. They don't. It's just they're just like parody videos. Like they're making fun of the frauders and stuff like that. So it's good stuff to watch when you just want to have a little laugh.
That's right up my alley. So I am definitely gonna check that out.
Yeah, and I was hoping to hear from Graham and Bob, the Graham and Bob show, because we were supposed to do something earlier today too, because he wanted me to record more stuff for the Mexican Bobs, or the Robertos as he puts it. But I haven't had it. I haven't heard from him. I did send him a link to this live. I love Griffin. That he's such a funny dude, and yeah, he does more of that stuff. The Graham and Bob show. If you just want to go see something else with parodies and stuff like that, it's fun.
Oh, cool. I've never checked that one out either. Wow, I'm getting all these recommendations today. This is awesome.
Yeah, you're right, Doc. It's not easy. And then plus you got. I mean, as much as I love my anti-frauditor community, and I love how you guys embrace everybody who tries, like their foot in the YouTube, space. I also have, all the other realms of content that I usually consume, because YouTube is life for me. Just so everybody knows, I've been consuming YouTube and solely YouTube like since 2009. Like I don't really I don't really watch regular TV anymore. If I do, it's usually like series like Game of Thrones. Like I'll wait for Game of Thrones to be like 4 or 5 seasons in. If I hear that it's a good series, then I'll consume it all at once. I rarely ever sit and watch regular TV anymore. Like I just can't. To be honest with you guys, I can't watch regular TV. I'm done with regular TV. Like it's just like like politicians and all that stuff. It's like I'm so done with that. I'm done with people, like smiling in my face and telling me that today's sunshine and rainbows when it's not. You know what I mean? I'm so done with like being told what's good and what's not good. Like I can make my own determination on those things, and I don't. And I get tired of being told what is it over the TV. That's why I can't do it no more. I don't watch TV. I haven't watched TV since 2009, and I stick with a lot of media like this. I love YouTube for the content. That's why I got so upset watching Fraud Troll go up against it. And Fraud Troll, like, I'm glad that he exposed that one guy Joe Hart a lot, because he wants to act like, oh, they're making fun of me on my videos and things like that. It's like, dude, um commentary channels, commentary videos, that's YouTube. That's the platform. That's YouTube in a nutshell. If you can't handle that, don't be on YouTube, because that's basically YouTube's bread and butter is the commentary channel. If you want to have any other kind of channel, fine, you can have any other kind of channel, but the mainstay of YouTube is commentary. And if you can't handle that, then don't be on YouTube. You go somewhere else, because this is the only place where you're gonna get people who are gonna take your video and fair use it almost every single time. And that's why all the big networks and stuff like that try to take down YouTube videos, because they cannot take it. They have butthurt feelings over people's real opinion about their TV shows and stuff like that.
But on the note of commentary, and what's this guy's name? Joe, I think. I love the thumbnail that Fire Troll put up because I think he had his camera up because he was streaming at the time, and he kept looking at the camera really close up. Man, that face will get you no action in the bedroom whatsoever.
Yeah, that's right. Damn it, Scotto, you kill me, bro. Oh, good. That's right. Yeah, Danny. Well, I mean, I can't say that I haven't. You know what? I've had TVs here and there. Um, I'm glad that they created smart TVs. I'm glad those TVs are the best because you could put your YouTube on the TV or whatever, and you can put all your little like subscriptions if you want to have Hulu or whatever. Um,
That's
I just
exactly what I
recently
do.
re up to my Amazon subscription because they put up that show Jury Duty. I don't know if you guys heard of it.
I
Have you
haven't
heard of that
no.
show? Okay, on Amazon Prime, there's a show called Jury Duty, and that was filmed in my city, the city that I live in right now, Huntington Park. So if you see it, you're gonna see the city hall where SGV came and he did his little stupid audit, and he made fun of our local this guy that everybody loves over here. Like he's this kid who tries to help everybody out, but he's got a real mental disease. Like he's got a real problem, right? And SGV came in here and tried to punk him, and it was one of my first introductions to auditor videos, and I was so upset when I saw that, and I'm to this day. I would love to have SGV in my face just so I could get at him for messing with that guy. And if you guys go to Amazon Prime and look for the show Jury Duty, you're gonna see that where they filmed that show. That's my city. That's my city hall. Across the like right on the other side next to it is the junior high that I went to. And behind it is the elementary that I went to. So it's my home. So like I'm very proud of it for it being in that show, even though it has nothing to do with the show. I'm very proud of it just that it's there. So if you guys ever want to see what the city hall looks like where I live in, check out that show.
So you know what? Now I'm gonna go watch it just because I'm gonna watch all the background and see if you're in some of the background of these scenes acting a fool.
No, I didn't. You know what? I saw when they were filming it. I did not know what they were filming because when there's a little park right there, right? And whenever I'm hanging out, especially like when I'm hanging out with my girlfriend and we want a little like privacy or whatever, that little park is really nice to be at. So we like to hang out there sometimes. And we went. I remember we went and we were about to get out, but we saw the production lights that they put outside of the building whenever there's a production, and you'll know this if you're around Hollywood, like Danny likes to call it. Um, there's production lights that they put over the windows because they want to simulate day. So if you ever see that they're filming inside of a building, they're just like they're simulating that it's daytime right there. And so we saw that, and we were like, "Oh, they're filming something over there." And sure enough, the minute we parked, we got the security guard that came up to us and was like, "Hey guys, I'm sorry, we're filming." Like so they wouldn't let anybody get close to that area while they were filming. But I think it's because they had an actual like big name actor. All the other ones are kind of I think they're small time. They're not too big. Usually cable guys, but there's a big time actor inside that show. If you guys check it out, I don't want to ruin it, but when you guys check it out, you'll see.
So when the security guard said you couldn't go in, I mean, did you point out that there were no signs that said restricted, and you just barged right in and just save the day on the scene, or what?
Oh, the first thing I did was pull out my camera. That was the first thing I did. I pulled out. That was the first thing I did. I pulled out my camera. I was all like, "And who are you? How can I help you?
Don't
Can
you
you show
know
me
who
the
I
law?"
am? I have 50 million views on TikTok.
No, I can't even claim that. I'm gonna have to say hundreds and hundreds.
On a slight different note, and on the maybe like TikToks and short. So a couple of days ago, you posted a little short, that your mom was not feeling well. You started cooking. So I had two questions. One, I hope your mom is doing better.
She is. She is.
Fabulous. And damn it, what did you cook? Because you never made like a video afterwards showing what you made.
I was making spaghetti and meatballs. If you didn't check it out, I thought I made it pretty clear that I was making spaghetti and meatballs. But I had the if you saw, I had the two sauces. I had the spaghetti sauce, and I had just when I took the video, I had just drained the spaghetti. So I had the spaghetti on the side, and if you saw, I saw the pot, and then I had the meat boiling on the other side. So if you check it out again, you can see the meat is boiling on one side. I got the open pot for the spaghetti to be put in, and then I got the sauces laid out. So I thought I made that obvious, but I guess not.
Wow, just gonna put me on blast like that. I guess I need to go back and do my homework.
I'm sorry. I'm not even trying to do that. It's just that I was like, I thought I made it obvious, but it's okay if you didn't know. If you didn't know, I get it. I probably didn't make it that obvious, but yeah, I'm look, another thing too, guys. Maybe I should start making stuff where I show you guys that I can cook because I can cook, and that's not a. I'm not even trying to brag on it. It's just that my dad, growing up, he was a line cook, and my mom, she worked at a diner, and so whenever they came home to cook, they would be tired of cooking. Of course, like they cook so much, so they would put us to do different things. Like say if my dad wanted to make it, and my dad made the best seafood. My dad made seafood that you guys wouldn't imagine. He made some great seafood, but seafood is very difficult. Like as far as like the stuff to prepare, right? So if he was gonna make anything with shrimp, we had to peel the shrimp. If he was gonna make stuff with fish, we would have to scale it, or we would have to prepare it as far as like we would make the breading for it and stuff like that. Um, Little things like that. And then my mom, she taught me how to like how to cook stuff evenly, like a piece of bread, like how to toast it on your stove and make it like nice and toasted to make like things that you would make in a diner on a big griddle and stuff like that. So I've got these skills that they've given me like throughout the years, and I completely forget. But I'm so comfortable in the kitchen because I've had all these little things that they taught me, and whenever my mom calls me over, or if my brothers or anybody else needs help to cook, I'm there, and I just like bam bam bam, like it doesn't even take it feels like nothing, it feels so comfortable for me to cook. It's just like I'm here, I'm doing this, like I don't even think about it. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But like thanks to like my girlfriend, she'll remind me that not everybody knows how to cook like you do. You're like, oh yeah, that's right.
I was the same. I live by myself now, but like say 15 years ago, um, I was married into this family that was one half of them were Mexicans and one half were Filipino. And boy, we had so much food. So I
Oh
just
yeah.
happened to live in the house that had the largest kitchen. So maybe on a Saturday or maybe it was a Sunday sometimes, like 2 dozen people coming over, and man, we made so much food. I was like, how on earth are we going to eat this? But nevertheless, we all managed to eat it. But man, that was some of the best food. But I was the same way. Like people would just pop over and we would just cook something. My mother-in-law would call me on Saturday night and say, "Hey, what are you making for breakfast in the morning?" And I would literally rattle off the menu, and if she approved of it, her ass was at the door at 9:45. You know?
Well, I know my girl. She well, she just tells me all the time, like, are you gonna? Because she loves two things that I make. I can make a mean chicken tostada, and I can make you a great dish of chorizo tacos. Okay.
Mm.
So she every single time when she comes back from Mexico, if she's been gone long enough, she'll be like, I'm gonna go get the chicken, I'm gonna go get the tostadas, start getting ready the salsa. I'll be right over. And it's not a choice. I don't have a choice. We're having
I'm gonna
chicken
mail you
tostadas
some
that
Tupperware
night.
containers, and you can send me some.
Hey, man, Scotto, you anytime, man, anytime, anything you want, you tell me, I got you, brother. You know you got me, I got you, buddy. Anytime.
Hey, I'm down for that. That works.
Yeah,
But it's like,
and my chicken tostadas are easy to prepare. I can make you the chicken, the salsa, the like all the little fixins, and all you got to do is put them together. Once you get it, all you got to do is put it together, because that's what I tell her. Like, all you got to do is get the tostada. Once I make you the chicken, you put the chicken on there. Sometimes depending on how you feel, because this is a feeler out. Some people like beans on their tostadas. Some people don't. Some people do. Some people don't. So sometimes I'll send you some refried beans, like, that are a little bit softer than your regular refried beans, so you can put them on top of your tostada, and then you can put the chicken, and then you put a little bit of queso fresco. I don't know if you know what queso fresco is. You heard of that?
Yes, I have.
Okay, you put a little queso fresco on top with a little bit of lettuce, a little bit of cabbage, right on top. Then you get the salsa. You put the salsa on top. Okay. Then you squeeze a little lemon on there, a pinch, depending on how you feel, because some people like more salt than others. But I put a pinch of salt right on top. Sometimes maybe just a little bit around the edges, that helps. But a little bit of lemon, a little squeeze of lemon, a little pinch of salt, perfect. And you're doing just fine with that. You don't want the salsa to go directly over where the frijoles are at, because then you're going to get a soft tostada, and it'll break apart. You want the salsa to go on top of the lettuce, just to let you know. A lot of people make that mistake. They put the salsa under the lettuce, and what happens is it sinks down, it gets into the tostada, and it breaks the tostada. You want the tostada to be hard and hold all of your fixings.
Damn it, Jay! Now I'm hungry. Damn.
That's my chicken. But the chorizo tacos, I can tell you guys how to make them, but I just can't explain why they come out different when me and my mom make them, because there's just something about the touch of how we do them. But if you ever wanted to do the chorizo tacos that I'm talking about, because they're really easy to make, there's two types of chorizo when you go to the meat market. You could have Mexican chorizo, which is called longaniza. If they don't know, like, you say Mexican chorizo and they say what? Say longaniza chorizo. It's gonna be a beef chorizo. It's pretty easy to make. You can take it out of the casing or cook it in the casing, however you want to do it. But what you do is that you get a pan, you put some oil in it, let it sit for like maybe like a minute, not too long. Let the oil get hot. You put the chorizo in first, and you let it cook. Let it get cooked a little bit. Depending on how many eggs you're gonna put in, you can put in 3 to 4 eggs, depending on how many people are gonna eat. I say 3 to 4 eggs is for 2 people, six for 3 to 4, and then you get about half a pound of chorizo. You can put half of it to start off. If it's too much, half would be okay. You can put the rest of it if you feel like you're gonna do for, like, say, 6 people. But I would say half if it's just gonna be you, maybe one other person. You cut the chorizo in half. You put it in there. You cook it. Then you put the eggs in, like you would say you're gonna cook scrambled eggs, right? It's easy. Once you cook the egg, and you see the egg cooking, you lower the flame just a tad. You let the chorizo cook into the egg a little bit more, and then when you see that the egg is like kind of like looking like the chorizo and the egg are kind of like coming in together, put up the heat a little bit more, and then you mix them up so that the egg and the chorizo have like a good blend, because you don't want either one to overwhelm each other. Once they're in together, you're gonna see it's gonna be a nice little blend of chorizo and egg. It's gonna look really good, and then you get your tortillas. Now, tortillas, it's very important that you get the right type of tortilla, because you don't want to get the little taco tortilla, you know what I'm talking about, the little one, because that's for like meat tacos, and you don't want to get the flour one, because the flour one is going to be too big. You're not going to make burritos. You want to get those ones that are kind of medium size, and you want to get either like Guerrero, or you want to get something in that category. You want to get some real, like, Mexican ones. Then once you do that, you heat
More
those
like a
up.
corn tortilla instead of a flour one.
Yeah, you want to get corn, but don't get the small, because I say chorizo tacos is most, and a lot of my like more like domesticated American friends, they hear chorizo tacos, and they want to get the taco tortillas, which are those little Mexican vendor like taco tortillas, the ones
Yeah,
that
the
come from the
tiny
streets. You know
street
what I'm talking
taco
about?
style ones.
Yeah, yeah. You don't want that. You don't want that with the chorizo taco, because the chorizo taco is going to be a little bit more thick. So those little tortillas are gonna they're not gonna be enough. You got to get the medium sized corn tortillas, and you're gonna want to get Mexican cream, but it's not that's not the way you want to put the cream into the chorizo taco. What you want is you get a little bit of milk. a little bit of milk, and you put it in a plate. I would say like I don't want to say half a cup. I would say like a quarter cup of milk, and you put it into a bowl. Then you get like about 3 4 spoonfuls of Mexican cream, and you put it into the bowl. You mix it up. Get a tiny dash of salt. Put it in there, and you mix it up. You mix it up till it's at the right consistency, where it's kind of liquidy, kind of like not like consistency of the milk, but a little bit thicker than the milk, but still liquidy. Then you want to put that mix into your tacos, into the tacos when you've already made the taco. Then you put that into don't put the glob of cream in there, because what's going to happen is that the cream will soak into the taco and completely mess up the flavor. If you put the mix that I'm telling you into it, it's gonna taste delicious, and the chorizo is not gonna overwhelm you, and the cream is not gonna overwhelm the taco. You guys, it was just like the perfect blend, and that's how simple they are to make. But trust me, they are delicious. That's my mom's style of making them. Like I said, that's the easiest way I could tell you to make them. But I promise you, if my mom makes them or I make them for you guys, they'll be way different. I don't know why they come out different, because I've told people how to make them. They see me make them and copy me, but they never come out exactly how we make them. Maybe that's my mom calls it the royal hand of the cook, where only that cook can somehow make it come out like that. But I don't know why it can't be replicated how we do it, but that's as simple as I could tell you guys to make it, and it's delicious. I love those tacos.
So, two comments. Number one, pardon me. The Mexican cream, that's crema, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And if any store, like I think any store now you'll find Mexican cream, right?
I think so. Oh, I've got a lovely taqueria that's half a block down the road. I have the supermarket next to it, so I'm pretty sure I can find it there. And secondly, you should probably make videos of this stuff, man.
I probably
There's your
will.
next
I
concept idea.
I probably will. I mean, there's a bunch of other stuff like I can make camarones al mojo de ajo, which is like um uh shrimp in garlic sauce. I guess that's the easiest way to say that. I could also I mean I could show you guys how to make ceviche. Have you guys heard of ceviche?
I don't think I've had that one, no.
Ceviche is like a Mexican sushi, I guess you could say. It's like you where you cut up you can make it out of shrimp, fish, whatever. We you cut up the shrimp, the fish. You
Oh,
toss it in a
yeah,
bowl,
and
and
you
then you
dice it really small, and it's like the lime juice and the acid cooks it. Yeah.
yes, 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 yes. And my dad was an expert at doing that. But you see, that's not so much like the ingredients. It's more or less the touch. You know what I mean? Because you gotta have the touch to dice up the stuff correctly. You gotta know how much juice you're gonna put in there, how you're gonna prepare it. You know what I mean? Because everybody does it just a little bit different, and then however it comes out is however people are gonna like it. And I think my dad had the best hand at that. He had the best hand at dicing up everything and having all the ingredients prepared correctly. I don't know why his stuff would come out perfect. Like I love this ceviche. I love the ceviche that he would make. He made the best ceviche both in fish and shrimp. He also could make a one that was mixed with like octopus and stuff that only he could make it as that good. Imitation crab. We call it haiba. It's very delicious.
You're gonna laugh at this, but the white bill equivalent of either one of those would be like potato salad or coleslaw, because everybody makes their own, and everybody likes their own, and nobody likes anybody else's, and everybody does it different, right?
Yeah, I don't get down with coleslaw. I'm not a fan of coleslaw.
Mhm.
You know what? Coleslaw is probably one of the few things that like for some reason, no matter how anybody's ever made it, I just can't get down with it. Like it just like maybe it's because it's too much mayonnaise. Maybe I'm not sure. I don't even want to say that because you know what? You know what? That's not fair because tuna in the way that I've been taught to prepare it has a lot of mayonnaise too. But I never get overwhelmed by the mayonnaise in tuna salad. But um, coleslaw for some reason it just maybe because I know it's there. Maybe because it's so like it's more obvious that there's. I don't know what it is, but I just it just it messes with my palate, I guess you could say. And anything that messes with my palate, I have trouble with. And this is gonna trip out a lot of you. Um, Cucumber, I have trouble with because it messes with my palate. Like I can't have a raw cucumber because it messes with me. Like when I eat a raw cucumber, it completely messes up my palate. I don't like it. It messes with the way I taste things. So anything that messes with the way that I taste things, I have trouble with. Cucumber, coleslaw, papaya. Papaya is a fruit that messes with my taste palate. I don't like it because it just completely messes with everything that I taste. I just can't I can't do it.
So I'm
And,
writing this down. You want me to make you what was that? A papaya and cucumber coleslaw? Is that what you want me to make you? I'm on it, buddy.
if you want to ruin my day, sure.
You just want me to open the box with this right return to sender on it.
You're right. No, and this is maybe it's because like I do have that, and I do have a palate that can take on a lot of things. Like I can eat something that tastes bad and not spit it out. I guess I don't know if you guys seen like Gordon Ramsay. He eats things that are like bad. He's just like chew on them for whatever. I can do that. I've got that kind of palate, but there are some things that just like when they hit my tongue, it's like my body just wants to reject it. Like my taste buds just want to reject it. And for some reason, a solid cucumber, like just a piece of cucumber, and I'm not even talking about like a cucumber with other things. Like you can dice up cucumber and put it in a tostada. You can dice up cucumber, put it anywhere else, put it in a sandwich, and it may not bother me as much. But a solid piece of cucumber by itself, for some reason, just messes everything up. It just messes everything up in there. Like it just like yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it was like something traumatic that happened to me. Somebody attacked me with a cucumber when I was a baby, but I get this, the cucumber. The cucumber hits my tongue and it's over. It's over. I can't do it. I can't do it. So I don't know why, but that's just the way it is. And coleslaw, I have the same reaction to it. There's a very almond milk is another thing too. For some reason, almond milk just like is, I the very few things that I spit out. But I remember a friend of mine gave me almond milk without thinking about it. Took a sip of it and I spit it out like and it's just and it's not even like me doing it because I don't like the stuff. It's like my body literally rejecting this thing that I put in my mouth. So it's like there's just a few things that like, and I've listed them off. Most of them. It's like almond milk, cucumbers, papaya, coleslaw. Um, not too much after that. I don't think there's not too much after that. No, no, that's
I
about
will
it.
tell
Oh,
you,
that and
on the note of Gordon Ramsay, I do like to watch Gordon Ramsay, but admittedly, it's Hell's Kitchen because I like to watch this man flip his lid over a plate of rice. It's like, you call this a risotto? That's me. I like to watch his cooking.
no, I love. When I first saw Kitchen Nightmares, the like when it was Kitchen Nightmares, not Top Chef, right? When it was the one where he was like renovating kitchens for people and stuff like that. I used to love it. I would watch it all the time. Mostly because it reminded me of when I used to go visit my mom and my dad. Mostly my mom because my mom she worked at a diner, right? And so I remember when if I would get off of school early, I would have to go with her because the person that picked me up couldn't watch over me or whatever. And I was really young. I was like maybe like 5 or 6 years old, and they would take me over to the diner where she was at, and I would see her preparing like all the like the chicken pieces and stuff like that to put into the chicken sandwiches, and then I would watch her cutting up lettuce and putting it into those like bins, and then putting it underneath her thing, and watching how they would switch out the soda machine. Like I thought I was like behind the scenes of everything. I would love it. I would love being in that area, and then and it was something nice because it was like I would love to see the people who were just like happy with my mom because my mom she made every single sandwich like as far as like lunch sandwich and things like that because she worked at a diner but it was underneath a courthouse, so there was a courthouse on top of where she worked, and they all the people that came down were basically most of the attorneys and most of the judges that worked up there, and they all had their individual like sandwiches or whatever that they would ask my mom for, and they loved my mom. Like with my mom, they would come and they'd be like, hey, like you're here again, yay, like, and do you have my sandwich? And my mom would be like, yeah, I have your sandwich, and I used to love that because it's like, oh, my mom, it's just nice. It's nice to see people appreciate, somebody's skills, and it was just so lovely to see my mom happy and her making the sandwiches for people.
And it's a sandwich. I mean, some people kind of think a sandwich is basic, and there is an art to making a sandwich.
There is no, there absolutely is, and I'll tell you, I can. There's a couple of sandwiches that I like to make for myself that I know other people like, but it's weird because it's like I've introduced people to things like panini bread, where it's like they're like, what is this? I'm like, I can't make this sandwich. I can't make this provolone sandwich for you without panini bread. If I don't have panini bread, then it's not. I can't make the same kind of sandwich for you. So that's something that my mom taught me about the different types of bread and stuff like that. Because there's panini bread, and then you got like the Italian style. You got you know what I mean. Uh, I know how to make it like an Italian style BLT that everybody loves. I love making that BLT, but you got to have salami. If there's no salami, you can't make that Italian style BLT. Um, it's just things that like you don't appreciate it until you don't have the ingredients to make them, and then when you do make them without those ingredients, it's like it's not the same.
Yeah, it just doesn't hit the spot.
No, provolone cheese is is so underrated. I don't know why people don't use provolone cheese a lot more. I love provolone cheese.
Hashtag provolone cheese is underrated. Is that what I'm going to see trending tomorrow?
We should. I love I love provolone cheese on a sandwich. I don't know why people don't use it more often. They need to bring back the provolone cheese.
Funny note about cheese for you. So when I was a child, my grandfather on my mother's side, man, this man loved cheese. And unfortunately, the smellier that was, the more he loved. And one of his favorites was Limburger. And I don't know if you've
Oh
ever smelled.
yes,
See, yeah, you've smelled it. Um,
I love cheese. No, cheese is my weakness. I love cheese. I love the smell of it. I love you know a Limburger cheese is delicious. There's a cheese in Salvadorian. It's called Morocco. That cheese, oh my god, it is probably the most stinkiest cheese next to Limburger. Like you, you don't know if you walked into a gym or if you walked into a restaurant.
totally.
uh,
So he would get this piece of Limburger and eat it, and it just came wrapped in a piece of wax paper, and he would throw it away in like a trash can in the garage. Just the wax paper. You would go out 2 days later and go, man, did like an animal get in the garage and die in here? What is that smell in here? But
yes, yeah, yeah, absolutely. I remember my when my pops used to work for an Italian restaurant, and they would give him pieces of cheese that weren't curated, like like some of the cheese that they would curate, like you would have to like hang it up or something like that.
mhm.
And he would get like these wheels of cheese, and they would let him have them, and so he'll bring them home and he'll hang them up or whatever, and he'll leave them like in a closet. You open that closet up, and it's like, oh, there's a dead body in here. but but I love cheese. I absolutely love cheese. A Limburger, all that stuff. But if I could, if your grandpa was around and I could show him that cheese that we got in Salvador, that Morocco cheese, it's something that I couldn't like. That's the only kind of cheese that I could grab in pieces and just eat it by itself. Of course, I wouldn't recommend it if you were going to kiss somebody that day.
Yeah, like maybe go brush
but
your teeth afterwards.
yeah, because it's really strong on the smell, but it tastes awesome. It is probably one of the most awesome cheeses I've ever tasted. It also doesn't have the greatest look either because they have like it has like little pieces of that the this plant that's what gives it like a lot of its flavor. And so when you look at it, you're like, are you sure that cheese hasn't gone bad? But I tell technically everybody that cheese is something that's gone bad if you don't if, technically if you want to look at it that way because actually cheese is actually like the um kerneled meat kerneled milk when it's curled what do they call it kerneled I forget the name of that word
You're correct. It's the
when
kernels that make the cheese.
yeah and
Curds.
that's
There you
and
go. The
curds
curds.
there you go yeah yeah and so that's what cheese is the curds of milk. So technically, it is already bad. Cheese is already a something that's gone bad, but it's good. It's bad, but it's good. Just like mushrooms are a fungus. So
Mm-mm-mm. My a partner from a couple of years ago. He really loved cheese, and my mother-in-law is from upstate New York, like way upstate, like 30 minutes from Canada or something. They have a local dairy up there that makes the cheddar cheese that they aged for 4 years, and they call it 4X cheese. My partner loves this stuff, so his mom sends some stuff out. I'm taking a nap one day. I'm literally in my bedroom on the other side of the house taking a nap on a Saturday. He starts melting the cheese and butter in a pan because he's going to pour over popcorn. The sharp smell of that cheddar cheese woke me up from a nap.
ooh,
And I was like, what is going on in here? What is happening? What is wrong? And it was the cheese. And after that, and it was really sharp, but I had to open all the windows in the house, and he loved that popcorn
I
that we ate with
absolutely
it.
I absolutely love a sharp cheese in my meat burritos. When I make anything like meat, like tacos, meat burritos, I don't really like so much salsa, but I love cheese on those burritos. I don't know why that is. Maybe the meat kind of complements the cheese better. But anytime I'm making meat, like a meat burrito or a meat taco, I'd rather have cheese on it than like the salsas and stuff that I do, like say on a chicken or on a fish taco. I don't know why that is. I can't explain it. A lot of my more Mexican friends, like they look at me weird when I choose cheese over like say the guacamole or the salsa that we normally put on our tacos. But I don't know why. But a really nice sharp cheese to me tastes better on a meat taco than the regular salsas. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I do put lettuce and I do put like say the um uh pico de gallo. But pico de gallo to me is like salad. It doesn't. It's not really like the salsa. Pico de gallo to me is like kind of like a salad fixing more than it is a salsa. Because a salsa to me is like red salsa, green salsa, where it's a little bit more watery, a little bit more fiery, like that. Pico de gallo to me is kind of more like a salad fixing that you put on top of your taco. So I rather use like a sharp cheddar cheese in my meat tacos than say like a regular green or red salsa.
Well, I got you, buddy. I'm gonna have her send me some of that sharp cheese, and I'll send it to you. I definitely will not be eating it.
you don't like sharp cheese. You don't like cheddar. You don't like cheddar or sharp cheese.
No, that was the thing about the cheese. Like he would melt this cheese, and the smell was so potent that it would drive me out of the house. And see the hey, right, come take me away. But and so after this, the rule was, hey, on days that like you're off, and maybe I'm working at the office, I'm away from the house. Then you can melt the cheese.
You need a cheese break.
Hmm.
I get it. I get it. No, it's fine. I'm a cheese lover though. That's just the thing. I'm a cheese lover. I've also I like a nice fondue. If I can have Kobe beef with some fondue, oh my god, that is delicious. I don't know if you guys ever had that. The the fondue cheese with the little blocks of Kobe beef. Oh man, that's a delicacy. I haven't had that in a while. But when because it's money. It's a lot of money. But that's probably like a cheese lover's dream. If you love cheese and meat and that combination is something that you adore, the fondue with the Kobe beef is like the height of that palate. It's like I can't express enough how much I did that a few times and it's like I can still taste the cheese and the fondue, and the beef, because that Kobe beef is so delicate. It's like it's tender. It's like it's juicy. It's this little cube of beef, and you put it into the fondue cheese, and you let the cheese kind of like engulf it, and then you give it a second, and then when you put it in your mouth, it's like, oh my god, every like heaven in encased in a cube melted cheese. It's like, oh, delicious.
Is fondue actually making a comeback? And I ask that only because I'm not as much of a cheese person, so I don't seek it out. But I remember it being a super huge thing in the 70s. Is it making a comeback?
I think I don't think it's gone anywhere. I just think it depends on the steakhouse that you go to.
Uh,
Because I go to well, when I have a chance, because I haven't been there in years now. But when I where I did get my fondue with Kobe beef was in a steakhouse called Stevens. It's a traditional steakhouse. Very much, all about it's all the different, that types of cuts of beef that you can get. When you get there, the menu actually shows you the cuts of beef where you're getting them from, so it's pretty cool. It's really traditional, and it's in the sense that it's all about, you go there, you got to be a meat lover, you got to be somebody who's there to eat, you know beef, and so the Kobe beef with the fondue, I would mostly exclusively get it there. I've seen it in other places. I just never tried it in other places, so I can't tell you how popular it is. But there in that restaurant, exclusively there, a lot of people loved it. And they have a nice. I don't know about another thing too. It depends on the fondue, like melter, because I've seen it in other places where they have a big one, and it's like that does not look appealing to me when it's like, say, like in a buffet, and you see like a fondue fountain, like that does not look appealing to me. I like
yeah, like how many people, like the chocolate fountain thing, how many people have stuck their fingers in that, you know?
yeah, no. Okay, Lisa White, I hope your ribs come out good. That's another thing I love. I love ribs. I love
Hmm.
smoking ribs and stuff like that. Those are real good. Um,
You're going to need to put up a
I'm,
picture of food for the thumbnail for this live, buddy. That's where this one's going.
well, and this is one of the things that I want people to understand is that, like, my lives, I want them to be very much about me getting to know the people in the chats, because we all we all kind of like, we all kind of know each other. I'm not saying that we need to be involved, like deeply or whatever, but we all come on to the same people. We all come on, like to support each other and stuff like that, because we love not only the stuff that our creators talk about, but we like talking to each other because we kind of have the same sense of humor. We kind of have the same, views on things and stuff like that. So I'd like to get into a space where we could all talk about things that we love to talk about, and not be afraid to be ourselves. You know what I mean? Like, I really want everybody to be themselves when they come here. I don't want anybody to feel like they're alienated because they think one way, or because they want to talk about other things. You know what I mean? Like, I want to, be the space where we could all like have, and talk about things that that we can talk about and just have fun with. That's what I've always wanted this channel to be about. It's not so much about, the frauditors and stuff like that. Although we do that may be the main topic, but for me, it's about, getting to know the crowd, the people that have been in these chats and stuff like that, so we can know each other in a way that's a little bit more personal, a little bit more, like, hey, I understand where this person's coming from. Just like getting to know Pete Barnes was such a nice thing for me, because I didn't know all the stuff that he talked about. Him being from India, but he lives in Scotland. You know what I mean? Um, Other people on here, like it's just, I love to get to know you guys. You guys are so interesting. Everybody, like everybody in the chat has their own story, and it's very interesting. And I know that we're all humble people that don't like to just like, talk about ourselves, but it's fun to get to know you guys, and that's what this channel, what I wanted to be about from the beginning. This is what I've always wanted to be about, and also a way for people to get away from the other people that want to talk negatively, that want to be about the fight and be about, the first thing I did when I came on here, one of my first, episodes is I kicked out Road Nation because I'm not going to have that kind of negativity here. I'm not going to have people that are going to come in here and derail us. We're going to have the conversations that we want to have, and nobody's going to come and tell us what to say or what to do because this is our space, you know?
Totally. And seriously, Rogue Nation showed up to your first live stream.
Yes, he did. What lemon question, Lisa White? I'm sorry.
Oh,
Did I miss that question?
you were explaining tacos and making this taco, and at the very end, you're like, "Oh, I put a little squeeze of lemon on the top, not too much." And Lisa had a question about, I believe she was talking to someone else, and they always said someone said they prefer lemons, but they always mean limes. And I think your question is that is it a lemon versus a lime you would put on the top?
It is absolutely up to you. If I could tell you, lemons will always give you the lemons will always give you the juice that you're looking for in flavor, but lime will always give you the most amount of juice. Okay, lemons have the flavor that most people expect from lemon. Anything that's a lemon juice, but when you buy a lemon, they're very difficult to tell whether they have a lot of juice or not because they're usually very bulky, and the amount of juice that's inside you can't really tell. A lime is easier to tell because when you feel for the outside, if a lime is squeezy, that has a lot of juice. If you touch a lime from the outside and it's very very squeezy from the outside and it's fat, it has a lot of juice. A lemon, when you see it, it's always going to look big and bulky, but it's never going to give you the right determination on how much juice there is inside. And both of them give you the same amount of flavor as far as the type of citrusy flavor that you're looking for. So I would say a lime gives you more bang for your buck if you're looking for that. A lemon, you'll never go wrong with the flavor that you're getting when you squeeze it out. But the amount of juice may vary from lemon, so you might get less juice from four lemons than you do from one lime. That's kind of the equation you want to go with. The flavor is not going to change. The flavor will never change. Never, never, never. It's always gonna be the same. Um, the only difference is that lemons, the juice that you get from a lemon is always going to be a little bit more ripe, a little more bitter of that citrusy taste than you get from a lime. Because a lemon kind of when they're big like that, they're already ripe. A lime sometimes could be dried out or it could be not ready. You know what I mean? And but those are easier to disseminate when you're going to go look at them. I would always say if you're gonna go get limes, make sure that they're fat, make sure that they're squeezable. Then you know that they have a lot of juice. If it's a lemon, you're kind of just you're hoping that they're good. On the inside, they're gonna be good in the flavor department. Just the juice department is where you're gonna be risking it because you may get a lot of juice out of that lemon, or you may get just like one squeeze, and it's most of the time a lemon will give you two squeezes of juice on the regular for each half. So you determine whether you want to or not. But if it's your personal tostada that you're gonna make, lemon you can't go wrong. If you're gonna make more than one, if you're gonna say cater to a lot of people, I would say buy limes and make sure that they're fat and juicy. So like that, you don't have to spend on a lot of lemons.
So today's philosophical takeaway, I imagine, is you'd want life to give you limes over lemons.
Well, if life gives you lemons, you're gonna have less lemonade than if you get limes.
See, there you go. It's all about the juice.
But that's just my opinion. I could be wrong. I don't know. That's the way I look at it. I don't think the flavor is any different. Like as far as like when you put it on the taco, because the juice to me tastes the same. I don't see it as any different.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not, as long as you're not going wild and put pomegranate seeds on it, you should be okay, right?
Oh my God, no! What is it with people with pomegranates? I like them. I like them, but I don't really like a lot of things infused with them. Like I used to have a pomegranate tree in my grandma's house, and we used to pick the pomegranates, raw from the tree, and we would eat them like that. But I can't have pomegranate anything. Like I can't have pomegranate juice. I can't have pomegranate infused nothing. Like I just can't deal with it. if it's not by itself. I don't know why it's so like the people want to mix it and stuff. Just like passion fruit, I can't. I don't understand the deal with passion fruit and wanting to mix it into everything. Like it's like it, it it's not even that great. Like I'd rather
Mm.
have hibiscus plants, you know.
There's what cherries and pumpkin spice is out of season.
Oh, pumpkin spice. That's different. I like the spice. I can do that.
But it's not in season all year, so you gotta have something else like in those spring and summer months. So here comes the hibiscus and the pomegranate.
No, but I do hibiscus. I love hibiscus. I know how to make hibiscus juice. It's delicious. I love. I actually when I make my hibiscus juice, sometimes I like to make a weed hibiscus tea where I mix weed and hibiscus to drink, and man, that gets you high.
How do you make the juice? Is it from the actual flower?
Yeah, you gotta boil the flour. It takes about a day to make because you want to boil the flour and then you have to let it sit for a minute. Like you can't just like boil it and then like start making the juice. You gotta boil it. You boil the water and then you put it in a container, right? The boiled water with hibiscus, and you put it into the fridge and you have to leave it there like say maybe 24 hours at most. Some people say longer, but 24 hours probably. And then when you get it the next day, you have to take it out. You take it out and you have to drain it because you're gonna have a lot of you have a plant in there, so you have to kind of like drain it. You take out the water, add a little sugar, whatever type of sugar blend you want to use. I've gotten used to using a brown sugar mix because they say it's healthier. I don't know if it's true or not, but I got used to it because I'm getting older. People say that you shouldn't use so much sugar, so I'm using a brown sugar mix now. And just it's up to you like how much hibiscus. I like to make it thick with hibiscus, so when I put the brown sugar mix that I make, it's like it's sweetened, but I only taste the hibiscus plant. I don't taste like all sugar because you can also make it like a Kool Aid where you put too much sugar and it's like, oh shit, well, I might as well have sugar water.
Well, that's how I made
um,
Kool-Aid when I was a kid because they had to pour out looking like syrup, right?
yeah. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Yeah, nah. I don't like that. I don't like none of my teas and stuff like that to be overwhelmed. Like when I make a J tea, like whenever I'm making like a tea just for myself, or whatever. I do like to have sugar for it, but I don't like to overwhelm it. Because it's like, what's the point of making the tea if I'm just gonna have this sugary, like super water or whatever? You know what I mean? I rather have like the taste of the plant itself, like that. It kind of gives it, I get the flavor of what I'm boiling in there. Like it's. I just think it's a waste of time for me to boil a whole ass plant for me just to have like a sugary substance. You know what I mean?
Oh, but I will tell you on tea, I'm a little redneck country boy from Tennessee, so I know all about my iced tea. Um, the more that you boil it like that, it makes it kind of harsh, so you have to put more sugar in it. So you're gonna love this. I live in a little downtown little apartment building, and on sunny days when it's really super sunny out, I have some glass jars and I will put them out on the fire escape and make sun tea. So I just have like this gallon jar and I put like maybe I don't know 4 tea bags or something in it, but you put it out in the sun and you let it sit in the direct sunlight for I don't know maybe 3 hours or so, and that's your tea. So it just kind of slowly brews your tea, so it's not bitter. So I will actually serve that, and I don't even put sugar in it.
Mm, that's interesting. I've never done that. I will
Yeah,
try
so
it.
like
I'll
if you're
give it a
gonna do it
shot.
inside, just put your on your stove. Just put it on a low, slow, like maybe two or three on the stove, and let it just kind of brew slowly.
That sounds interesting. I've never done that. Never done that, but I will give it a shot. I I
Yeah,
I,
I got
I
called
do.
out from neighbors because I put these things out on the fire escape, and like people from a building across the street were like, what did you put out on on the jars on the fire escape out there?" And like, it's not pee jugs. It's just just make a tea. Don't go anywhere.
People are so funny like that, huh?
Yeah. In this town, I think anything goes. So every time somebody has some question about that, they automatically go to the dark side.
Yep. Yep. Well, I mean, I grow weed plants, so I get that a lot too. If I'm doing something with tea or like you see something with plants, it's automatic. It's like, oh, you got some weed right there. And it's like, no, man, not everything is weed. Not everything that I do is with weed.
And I kind of make that joke. So there are auditors down there like FGV and all that down in the LA area that kind of stir things up. So people think, oh my gosh, it's really crazy up here in San Francisco. And I'm like, no, everybody here just seems to be high all the time. I don't think anybody's doing any auditing that I personally seen, you know.
Well, I mean, you would think that it should be like that over here too, but the problem is that like I think well at least I think it's that there's so many people who are doing things with weed and stuff like that or whatever that it's an everyday life thing where it's like it's not a we don't like people don't make weed a big deal anymore over here. It's not like how would you say it's not anything people it's only the people who are not really into it kind of still like they get excited when they smell it or whatever, but it's become like business as usual, you know what I mean? And the people like SGV and stuff like that, the he's one of those people that I think maybe tried to make money from doing his own like grow and stuff like that, which a lot of people do. But what a lot of people don't understand when it comes to like making the grows, there are a lot of factors that are factored into when it comes to making a grow. And luckily for me, I was taught by a real botanist, somebody who knew about growing plants and stuff like that. It wasn't just about weed plants. He knew how to grow plants, as a whole, and was a botanist where he worked at the vineyards and would actually help grow um, uh, uh, wine plants and stuff like that. Where he took that over to growing weed plants, and he created some of the better strains and stuff like that. And he gave me some of that knowledge, and that it's not as easy as people try to make it out to be. And so um, a
Yeah,
lot
a
of
lot
people
of
like
people think that you could just go down to the corner and pick up one of these little house plants and water it once a week. And, ooh, hey, look, I've got, buds in a month or something.
yeah, right. And so I think people like SUV, people like that are out there that try to make easy money. They think, oh, okay, I'm just gonna grow a couple plants and I'll be good. I'll be able to sell them in my neighborhood, and then like everything's gonna be fine and dandy. But it's not that easy, and and you don't make that much money that way. You have to have a well connected. You have to be well connected to collectives, to different people to be able to sell weed. And then people are not looking for you to sell them little ounces. You got to grow, pounds and pounds and pounds. So you got to have, the not only the equipment, you got to have the space and all that other stuff. So um, when my first operation happened, we were doing it out of houses. We were doing it in places that were illegal because we didn't have the electrical capacity. We didn't have the water capacity and stuff like that. We were getting high water bills and all this other stuff. So the first collectives that we did were very like a lot of like house stuff and things like that. But we realized that we needed to get together with corporations and different things. And so now we're connected with like the current company that I'm working with is a big tobacco company that I can't even mention because if I do, then I'll be going against my contract. Um, and a lot of it now is corporate funded. Behind the scenes, a lot of people won't talk about that because that's the only way you're going to build a factory farm situation where you'll be able to supply enough people. Um,
I was
and it's
thinking the
sad to say.
exact same thing. Like, especially here in California, like the business market is so saturated with so many growers and so many suppliers. And what's going to make your brand stand out among the other thousand that have all this? What nowadays is like a lot of glitzy packaging, and I mean, just how you going to make it? How you going to make a profit in doing that, right?
Yeah, you have to get behind the corporate, and it's sad to say, but it's being eaten up by corporate companies. There are two tobacco companies that behind the scenes are eating up a lot of the growers. They're starting to create their own factory crops, and it's really sad to say that the weed weed business is turning into a weed industry, and the weed industry is going to take the fun out of what it used to be, because it used to be fun for me. I used to have a lot of fun. I could tell you that the reason why I want to get out of what I'm doing is because it's no longer fun. I have it used to be, I could grow crops, and we would grow them, and we would be smoking and we'd be having fun, and then we would take them to the shops, and we would go to the shops and we would have fun, like uh, passing out to the owners, and they would give us money. But it was different. It was like so much fun to do these things. And now it's like I gotta go talk to lawyers. I had a situation. I mean, this is how bad it's getting. Where the lawyers, I used to hire people who were illegal because I wanted them to have a shot to get their citizenship. So my last crew that I had four people that were illegal. Um, I told them, like, I'm gonna do my best to try to help you guys get your citizenship, and I was doing everything that I could to help them out. But once the lawyers found out that I had illegal people, they told them, we can't have them, we can't have them, we can't have them. And I was like, they're not doing anything to you guys. They're not doing anything to it. They come in, they work, and trust me, if ICE or anybody comes over here, I'll make sure that I put all the blame on me. Like, don't even worry about it. But they will not have it. These lawyers, they will not let you do anything like that. They get on your ass, and it's like I get tired of having these meetings with them. I get tired of talking to them because they don't understand anything. They're not there. The only thing they care about is the bottom line. The bottom line is whether you're gonna have your crops on time and they're gonna make money, and that's all that matters. Like, there's no, it's so corporate. It's so cold that I'm done with it. Like, I don't want to. I wish that I didn't sign my contract, but I have to. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, what else am I gonna do? It's the job that I've known. So it's like, I want to quit it. I want to end it because I'm tired. I'm tired of dealing with all this corporate stuff, and they're starting to do things where they're asking if it'll be okay if I could wear a uniform, if I could, like, go in with something that, that symbolizes that I'm, it's like, I don't want to do that. Like, why? But I'm at the, and now I'm getting to my stressor. So, but that's what's happening. That's what's happening now, and it's gonna become that because, as much as the little farmers wanna do what they do, it's difficult to keep up with the supply and demand. Like, you need that kind of corporate backing.
Totally. And do we need to go back to food? Like, what you making for dinner, buddy?
No, it's fine. It's fine. Like, I'm never too shy to talk about these things, but it's like, it is something that gets to me because, like, I used to be very happy in the job that I was in, and I used to be very happy doing it, and it's just become such a chore. It's become such a, like, you know it used to be a labor of love. You know what I mean? Where I would love planning, and I would love growing, and I would love seeing my crops grow, and I would love seeing my crops bud. And now it's just like, it's just, it's all dead to me. It's all like, there's so much history that it's all dead to me. I go in and I'm like, I don't even like to be honest, and I'll be completely honest with you, Scotto, because, like, before, I used to be more involved. Like, I used to go in there and I used to be like, okay, what are we gonna do now? And I would think about ways to, like, like, to help out the situation or whatever, to make things easier. Um, but ever since they told me to get rid of my illegal guys, and ever since they've been, like, more corporate, and they brought in people that are regular workers, regular agency workers and stuff like that, I've just kind of created, like, a little formula for them to, like, just to work every day. And what I do is just to go in and I check the crops to make sure that they're doing the things correctly, and then I'm gone. I can't even stay there. Luckily, I don't have an hourly wage, so I don't have to, like, I don't have to worry about being there 8 hours or whatever. I just go in and I check things, make sure everything's doing fine, and if they have some sort of emergency, then I'll show up. But I'm really just like I'm really just like not trying to be over there anymore because I can't do it. Like, it's not the same. It's not the same thing that I used to work. And I'm not happy. I'm really not happy there. Like, I want to do something else. I want to do anything else. Like, I want to work in something else. I was like, I can't do it anymore. Especially, like, there's something about people who don't know what you do, that are just breathing down your neck, that just, it really gets to you. It's like I get it. You're a legal person and you got all the legal stuff together, and like thank you for having that, but you have no idea about what I'm doing, and don't try to tell me what to do. And it's like, and you want to just like throw them, like send them off to hell, but it's like I signed the contract. I signed it. I got something that I got an obligation to fulfill. Not fulfilling it, but I'm not happy about it. Not happy at all.
Exactly, and this whole thing, like I've been in that little situation before, where someone above you is basically telling you what to do, but they have no absolute clue as to what it is they're telling you to do. They have no idea. So
Yeah,
so I
yeah,
totally get it. It's just, um, I guess I was saying you're putting in this impossible position, for like a better way to say it, but it really is like they just have no idea what they're asking you to do, but they want you to do it.
yeah. And it's just there's something like it just I guess there's something cold about it. You know what I mean? It's like taking your mother's recipe of cookies and they just start selling it over and over again, right? It's just something like there's something like just sad about that. Like it's not that you're not happy that recipe got out and people are like enjoying it and that's fine and everything, but there's just something sad about how it's no longer that thing that like that came from your hands. You know what I mean? They're
Hmm.
just that's the part that I'm really struggling with because like before it was like I was involved in every single step. I was involved in everything, and then it's like now I feel like I've been taken out of it, but I've been taken out of it because they keep taking the fun out of every single piece of thing that I had to do. See, the way I ran my grow it was like we have to do this, this, and this, right? But I did it with everybody. We all did it together. It wasn't like you go do that and then I'll go do this. It was like we all did every piece together and we were like a unit and we were like a family. It felt so good and then when we were done, it was like we all had a cigarette together. We would all like sit down and watch the plants grow, and we would be proud of it. You know what I mean? Now it's like everybody comes in, clocks in, they do what they have to do, like, and they clock out, and then it's like, okay, what's next and what's next, like, and then everybody has their own little like station, and now I'm dealing with leads and supervisors where I didn't have that before. Like it was just me talking to other people, like and it's just it's not that if I wanted to work like that I could have just stayed as a manager at working at a department store. You know what I mean? Like the way it's becoming, it's like I this is not what I want. Like this is I don't want to come into a place like this and worry about and I guess where I'm really starting to like it's really starting to get to me is that you get those employee problems where you got people who are like I don't like to work with him and oh that person bugs me or whatever and it's like oh man like this is not it like this is what I wanted to get away from this is what I liked before when I used to work with with my guys and everything and we would have like I said we would work all day and then at the end of the day we would smoke and just hang out and it felt good it was like I'm doing something. Yeah, it's work or whatever, but I'm hanging out and I'm having fun. But now it's like I I like this has become where I have to now we have to get an HR person because I can't deal with all this stuff. I told the guys the last meeting that I had with them, I just got into an accident and I'm not going to be going over there all the time, so I can't be I can't be referee to all these arguments that are happening. So you guys need to get an HR person. They're like, okay, fine, we'll throw in an HR person. Like, okay, thank you, because I'm sorry, like I can't be referee to all these like little arguments and spats that are happening because such and such doesn't like what such and such is doing, and I'm not with that, I'm not with that, and yeah, and it's just slowly just becoming just a regular job, and that's not growing. That's not what growing weed should be about. You know what I mean?
Totally. Hey, Kimmy Don, I see you there.
Hey, Kimmy Don. Oh, you came in. You came in at the worst part. I'm over here ranting about my job. I know nobody wants to hear about it, but that's what I'm doing. And
I
we
got a
were talking
funny
about
comment
school.
for you about that then. So here, I'll change the subject a little for you. So you were talking about,
Please.
yeah, I love this thing back when, we were hanging out at the end of the day, smoking a cigarette. Man, I had a vision of one of my favorite cooking shows called The Two Fat Ladies. Have you ever heard of this?
No.
Oh man, oh, you gotta go find her. I bet they'll have some stuff on Google. But it really was. It was these two big British women, and at the start of every episode, they went around in a motorcycle and a sidecar. So I think they drive off to wherever they're going. It's like some boarding school in a nice rural area, part of England, and they'll go make them a lunch, for like a soccer team that's playing. And I'll get to the recipes in a minute, but man, at the end of it, at the end of every episode, these ladies, this team has finished their practice, they're enjoying whatever they've made, but the ladies would kick back, sitting back at a table, smoking like a Carlton 100 or something. But that's what they would do. The ladies would just kick up their feet, smoke a big old long cigarette.
That's nice. I mean, we would smoke up a big long cigarette of weed, but yeah.
Mm. Every day
Yeah,
was
I get it.
420 over there, right?
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, when I had my shop, and I had my grow and everything, it was I was having fun 24/7. I was like, there was it was I think it was probably the best time that I had in my life, because it was like all we did was do the shop, and then we would smoke, and every night it was like, where are we gonna go have dinner, like we would go have dinner, like at different restaurants. um
Which
I
is
mean,
what
we
you
just we
talked
just
about
had.
after you got the munchies from smoking, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. It was like, ooh, we would. Well, actually, like what we would do is this. This is how our day would go when I used to have my shop. It was like, because at the time I didn't have to deal with the grow. The grow was done by somebody else, and so when they would come and bring the weed and stuff like that, we would separate it. And then at lunchtime, everybody would talk to each other and be like, okay, what do we want? Do we want to have a big lunch, guys, or do we want to have a good dinner? And most of the time, we would pick a good dinner, because the lunch we didn't really care about, because we all had lunches at different times. So during our time between lunch and to close, all we would do is be voting on different restaurants that we saw. So somebody would be on the computer and be like, "Oh, there's a restaurant over here where they have Korean barbecue. You guys want to do Korean barbecue?" And be like, "Okay, we'll put it on the board, Korean barbecue." And then if you wanted to vote on it, you come and put a one next to it, right? If you didn't, you'd have to put another restaurant underneath. And so by the end of the night, we would have like three different restaurants with like different ones on it, and people just making like deals, like go put a one, and tomorrow I'll back you up on whatever you want to do. Like, it just became such a thing to negotiate for our restaurant vote. Like, we would do things like, we're gonna give it to the people that come in. If they vote, whatever restaurant they vote on, we're gonna go to. And so they'll come in and they'll be like, "Oh, I've been to that one. Vote for that one." And we just had a great time choosing the restaurant that we were going to go to after work. I would love that, and then we would go, and no matter what we chose, even if it was one that we didn't choose, we would always have a good time. I even had fun at vegan restaurants that we had to go to, because I would think like, oh, I've never been to a vegan restaurant. And we went to one, and it was delicious. Everything was good in the vegan restaurant. I was actually pretty surprised, because I thought I wasn't gonna have a good meal, or like not be satisfied, but I was. Scotto, what are you doing? Scotto?
Hey, buddy, I'm back. I
Scott?
had to switch headsets. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. What were you doing?
It's like the batteries died on my headset right in the middle. So it's like, boom. So I had to go get another one.
Oh, okay. Well, this one has echo, because I can hear myself.
Hey, well, I actually, so like when you did your first stream earlier, actually it was a while ago, maybe an hour ago, like you were dropped for a minute when somebody called you. A couple of was like, I wonder if Jay's just sitting there talking to himself and not realizing I got cut off. He probably was for maybe a minute.
No, no, that when that happened, I knew right away. Like, cause I'm telling you, I got my phone was doing something funky. Like, if somebody called me, but it just didn't go through. So I saw that right away. I was like, what the heck is going on? But it's strange because like I've had so many weird things happen ever since I started doing lives that I don't even think about it anymore. I'm just like, okay, I guess I got to turn the phone off or whatever. I don't even panic.
It's Skynet. Skynet's onto you, Jerry.
I should have known. I should have known.
Do you follow any of
Well, I
that? Are
get
you into sci-fi at all?
into what?
Are you into any kind of sci-fi things at all? I know you're into Star Wars because you did something about the Mandalorian a couple of weeks ago.
I'm into I'm into everything, Scotto. I'm into everything. There's not a thing that I'm not into that people don't talk about here on YouTube. um,
Nice. What
you
brought
can
it
talk
into
to me about
media
anything.
like that?
Well, it has a I don't, how would you say, I guess because I I don't like to close myself off to anything. Like if I'm hearing about something, I give it a chance. If you tell me like I'm the type of person that you can suggest things and I actually check them out. I'm not blowing smoke up your ass when I say I'm going to check it out. So I give anything a chance, and if it catches my fancy just a little bit, I'll keep watching. I'll keep looking at it. I mean, I watch things that people probably think that I've never watched before. Like I was into The Bachelor for a little bit. Like I watched seasons of The Bachelor like probably like four in a row. I used to watch American Idol uh, like almost religiously. Um, there's a lot of things that people won't believe that I'm into, and sci-fi is the easy one because my I will I'll tell you this. Um, my family or my grandpa was a good friend to one of Stanley Kubrick's good friends. So I got a lot of insider information about Stanley Kubrick's things. So like when a lot of people came out with the stuff about The Shining and other things like that, I already knew those things because I was sitting around as a little kid hearing them talk about this stuff, and it just I find it fascinating, because it's like I'm kind of like I feel like I have an inside track to some of those things, and
I
so
was gonna say you have the Hollywood inside story.
Kimmy does like, oh no, not the fashion. Yeah, well, I no, yeah. You want to know something funny, and I don't know if you know about this about Stanley Kubrick and this. He had like a red book that he had in The Shining that a lot of people talk about. When I was a kid, I actually saw that book, and I almost kind of like threw it away when I was young because I don't know if anybody's ever heard stories about Stanley Kubrick, but he was a jerk, and he was a jerk to kids. I didn't know this. I found out later, like when I heard some of his documentaries that he was a jerk, not just to me, but a bunch of kids. But he came to my grandpa's friend's house, and my grandpa used to hang out at his house all the time, and I would hang out with my grandpa, of course, like that's just what we do. And so this guy that was there, and he would just be the like he would love to torment me. And I remember all I wanted to do was ask like my grandpa for 50 cents. This man would torment me to hell for trying to like ask my grandpa for 50 cents every single time. All I wanted was to go get an ice cream or something, and I would go and I would ask my grandpa for some money, and he would torment me to hell. And I hated him. I didn't know who he was. I didn't know what he did. I was just a kid. I had no idea. To me, Big Bird was a bigger celebrity than he was. You know what I mean? I had no idea what he meant as far as like movies are concerned. Like not at all. But I remember he would get me so upset. And then one day, I was really upset with him, and I saw this red book that he would carry with him, and I grabbed it, and I remember I felt like throwing it and tearing it up or whatever, and I grabbed it and I was gonna go like toss it somewhere. But my grandpa caught me when I had grabbed it, and he told me, "Hey, what are you doing?" And I told him, "Oh, I just wanted to look at this book." He's like, "This book is not yours." He's like, "Don't grab it." And I'm like, "Okay." And I give it back to my grandpa, all upset or whatever. But come to find out, that's the big red book that's in The Shining and everything. Like I had no idea. I had no idea. when I finally found out that was Stanley Kubrick and who he was, like to the movie world and everything, it was too late. I never got to meet him because he went back to. I guess he didn't like flying or something like that, so he never came back to the United States. He went back to I believe Britain or England. He lived somewhere over there, and he never came back because he didn't like flying. And so I never got to see him after that. After I think I was 6 or 7 years old the last time I saw him. Uh,
But he's
but he yeah he gave work to one of my neighbors in Full Metal Jacket. One of my neighbors comes out in that movie, and yeah, it's just crazy. It's crazy that I have that history, of having to deal with that guy. But yeah, if they say he was a jerk to little kids, he was a jerk to little kids. I don't know why. He just didn't like kids or something. He really would pick on kids.
mm-mm. And I do have a piece of memorabilia from Full Metal Jacket, but well, it's not really memorabilia, but it's this little stuffed beaver that when you squeeze it, she says me so horny.
Well, what's crazy is that Lee Army, Ermy. I met him before I knew who the heck he was too, because when I was like I said, when I was around that age, that's when those movies were happening, and he went to like a barbecue that they were having at my grandpa's friend's house, and so I was there, and there he was, this guy who was like, he was he's not like particularly tall or anything, but he had a he was real like he caught your attention because his voice, like his voice, it had his very like strong, and so
Hmm.
I remember being a kid, and him like talking to all the kids together, like in a group, and I forgot what he was talking about. I just remember that he caught all of our attention, and I just remember thinking to myself, like, man, this man is scary, like there was something about him that was scary, and I never forgot his voice. And then one day I'm hanging out with my cousin, and through the speakers of his mom's the living room, they're watching Full Metal Jacket, and I hear this man's voice. Like I was like, I know that voice. I was like, are you guys having this guy over? Like, who are you talking about? Like, I know that voice. You hear that voice? And he's all like, yeah, they're watching a movie in there. I'm all like, really? I go in there, I run in there, and they're watching Full Metal Jacket, and they're in the scene where he's the first scene where he's introducing himself, and I'm all like, could that be him? Could that be the same man? Because like I'm hearing the voice that I heard, but I'm also like I'm not seeing, like I don't remember if I could remember the face, right? So then I had to go ask my grandpa, and my grandpa told me I'm not sure, but then when I asked his friend, he was all like, "Oh yeah, that was that man." He was all like, you just didn't know that he was about to come out in that movie." And he was all like, "As a matter of fact, he didn't know he was going to come out in that movie because he was just an advisor. Like he wasn't even going to be in the movie. Like he was just going to be there to give tips about how a drill sergeant should act. But I guess he did better than the actual actor that they got, so he got into the movie. And when I met him that day when he went to the cookout and everything, he wasn't even a part of the movie like that yet. Until later on they wanted to use him. So that's it's pretty nuts. It's pretty nuts. Um, I'm sure that he never remembered me after that. I barely remembered him. If it wasn't for the voice, I probably would have not remembered who he was. Because according to my grandpa, we've met a lot of actors that I've never actually like known that they were actors. Because his friend would not he would not divulge whether I was talking to an actor or an executive or anything like that. Because that was his trust. That was the trust that he gave to those people. He would never like say anything if they were very important or whatever. The only way you would know sometimes is if they came in their cars, because sometimes the cars would be really nice. I'd be like, that has to be somebody important, because that car is too nice for the city.
I have a friend of mine that was born and raised in Ireland, and when he's like about 5 or 6 years old, he's in Ireland, and his dad runs an Irish pub. Well, Sean Connery and the film crew happened to be in town filming one of the very early 007 movies. And this guy, his name is Mario. Mario's just running around the pub, being a little rambunctious 5 or 6 year old that he is. His dad tells him a couple of times, Mario, Mario, sit down. He's like, no, no, no. Just going, doing being a kid. The next thing he knows, Sean Connery has picked him up by his feet and held him upside down. And he says, "You should always listen to your father." And so that guy was like, that's like his proudest moment in life. Oh, Sean Connery! I got lectured by Sean Connery.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff. I don't think I've ever had anything like that. I know. Like, there's a few people that I knew who they were, and we had conversations, and it was like kind of like I wasn't starstruck. I don't get. I'm a person who doesn't get starstruck when I'm talking to somebody. Like, it could be like the president of the United States, and I'm talking to him, and I won't be starstruck while I'm talking to him. But the minute they leave, the minute they're outside of my vision, it hits me then, because I've had a few where, like, I've talked to a few people, like Jason Gordon-Levitt. I had a moment where I talked to him, and I remember when I talked to him, it's like it didn't hit me who I was talking to until he was away, and then I was like, "Holy shit, I was talking to that guy." And
I have
that's
one
kind
for
of
you. It's very funny. It's a little embarrassing, but it's so fucking funny. I'm sorry, I can't tell you. It's so funny. Okay, so oh man, this is like 20 plus years ago. This is back when Tower Records was still around here. Okay,
oh.
so yeah. See, that just takes us back. So I was down in LA with a friend of mine. There was some party at a house. It was going on for 3 freaking days. I just cannot believe this. But at about after like a day of this, he and I were like, I just have to get away from this for a little while. So we're like, hey, let's go down to the big Tower Records, right? um, we were both a little high, maybe more than a little. The woman in front of me was Shaka Khan. It was Shaka Khan. But I was so high that I didn't notice. I was like, I can't. I went to her like, girl, did anybody tell you you look like Shaka Khan? Oh yeah. So and and she was just like, what? She just kind of looked at me and just went off and did her thing. And the whoever was checking me out at the register that good, that really was her, by the way. So I just
Oh,
paid for my
wow.
CD and just went back to my car in peace.
Oh, wow. That had to be.
You there, buddy?
Sorry, my headphones died.
That's okay. I made you laugh so hard you dropped your phone, didn't you?
Can you say something, Scotto?
Hey, can you hear me now?
Can barely hear you. That's probably because I just disconnected the headset.
Okay, is this any better?
1 second. You can still hear me though, right?
I can still hear you, yes.
Yeah, my headset ran out of battery, so I had to take it off. Do I sound weird?
No, I mean, well, you're always weird, Jerry, but you sound just like you normally sound. How's that?
Oh, that's good. That's good. Okay. Well, I hope I don't sound too bad because now I don't have my headset, and everybody knows what happens when I don't have my headset.
No, I mean, you sound perfectly fine to me.
Okay. Well, I don't know if we should. I mean, we're 2:30 in. Um, I don't know if we should end here.
It's up to you, my friend. It doesn't bother me if you want to. I mean, my goodness, we just wore out the batteries on your headset, man. And I just switched to one just, 10 minutes ago? So we're both in the same boat. Yeah.
I know. I can't believe. Well, I did. I did charge it. I charged my headset, and it was at 100% when I started. So, that just goes to show how long we've been going. Jerry
Yeah,
never
this
stopped.
is your second one
Never
for the
stopped.
day.
Never stopped.
He does not. Just
What's
seems to
Chili's
think
thing?
today, brother.
Um, what, never, what did he say? I forgot already. What did he say? Never stop.
Or the thing we were
Can't,
talking about earlier, you mean?
it can't stop, won't stop. Or is that P Diddy?
Yeah, I don't know that one. I'm an old fogey. Like I like about this. I love like 70s and 80s music, and
There you go.
that's
We
what
don't
I
stop.
find
We don't stop. There
nostalgia
you go.
at the record.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I've been having fun. Thank you, Scotto, for showing up for the second one. Kimmy Don, I appreciate you being here. OTA always. It's always a pleasure. Danny, everybody that shows up, I'm so happy you guys are here. Um, let's let's hopefully that we can hang out next weekend. If not during the week, if you guys can, if you guys are, subscribe to Professor Crack. Uh, me and him are gonna be doing a lot of stuff together. So if you guys are looking for me, looking for my stuff, I'm gonna be doing a lot of stuff with him. And if I'm not here, I'll be over there. And just I'll see you guys around in the chat. I hope to see you guys in KFAR celebration stream that he's gonna have at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern time. I hope to see everybody there. And yeah, I hope you guys had fun.
Yeah, man. Hey, thanks for the invite, Jerry. This was awesome.
And thanks again, Scotto, and thanks again everybody who came along. Hope you guys have a nice Sunday, and I'll see you guys.
Alrighty, bye bye, everybody.